Hello everybody, and welcome to our game dev stream again on a Sunday. In the upper right corner, you see me, Felix aka Laxen. I will do the game development today, and with me in the voice chat today again are Geflügel aka Henne and our composer Intero.
Hello.
Cheap, 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 cheap.
We actually now got a new sound
Hello,
for
everybody.
Henne, so let's just use that one right away.
We have to use it right away, so there is no
Chicken.
No surprise.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes, we also got our sound button, music bot as usual. And right, so game dev streams. Usually 3 parts that we do. First, we just show recent progress. I guess I can show a little bit from the new Maroon Tree Cave. Trying not to spoil too much. I mean, that's the one thing we started yesterday. Not yesterday, last week when we did our game dev stream. And it's finished by now, more or less. So I can show a little bit of that. It's not a full dungeon, but it's kind of like a small cave where you have to do some fights in order to enter the heat dungeon. And after we have shown some progress and things like that, we do some game development. And today the plan is actually that we write some dialogues. Dialogues. Is it
Dialogs?
Does it say
Yes,
like that? I know.
dialogue, I think.
Dialogues. Anyway, so yeah, we have the thing is I tried to not write very story relevant dialogues because I don't want to spoil too much. But kind of
And
like
it would
when you
also
run
be
around
very
with Citron and Emily, you know, there's always some chatting going on, and I plan to write some of these small talk dialogues, so to say, that appear when you just walk around. And at the end, we usually do some nonsense drawing. So that's what we do. And our music bot is now became active again suddenly.
Whose
Right.
fault might that be?
Yeah, I have no idea. Anyway, so, and as usual, if you have any questions in the chat, just ask them right away and make sure to write @RadicalFishGames, because otherwise we might miss your question. Even if you write @RadicalFishGames, we might miss your question. If that happens, just ask again. Sooner or later we will find it, hopefully. So that's more is it. And let's see, there's already a couple of questions, I think. What's the meaning of life? Is there a God? Republican or Democrat? I don't know what that is. I'm in Germany, I'm sorry.
We have no idea.
Oh, good game, by the way. Thanks.
I mean, thing is, meaning of life, each and every human being and every being, to be honest, even a plant, even Pantoffeltierchen. I have no idea how they are called in English. Even everything has to find its own meaning in life. Is there a God? Maybe.
Maybe not.
Republican or Democrat? None, because we are German.
Yes.
But I mean, the former might suck a bit more than the latter, especially right now. But I mean,
yeah, that's
politics. Am I right, you guys?
Politics. Yeah, that's starting early with serious stuff here.
Well, it's pretty.
Also,
it's
thank
pretty
you.
hard to
Thank
ignore
you.
right now, right?
Yeah, I know. Glad that you like the game anyway. Also, 42 is the meaning of life. I mean, that's the obvious answer, really.
Yep.
Oh, what's this?
Sounds a bit like.
That's the Switch Force?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it is. Nice.
I mean, doesn't it kind of sound like Valhalla? Bit?
Nah, Valhalla's a bit
Okay.
different. That's Word. So Jack Kaufman. Hey ho, Felix, what's up? Hey ho, Geflügel. Kappa. There's a lot of
Kappa.
kappas. Hey.
Kappa.
Will this be like the Final Fantasy 15 banter? Kinda. I actually didn't play Final Fantasy 15 that much. But from what I saw, yes, I think they had a lot of focus on building the characters through things they say all over the place. And from what I saw, they did a pretty good job. I mean, actually, they did something like this in Final Fantasy 13. The only problem was that Final Fantasy 13 had horrible writing, and everything the characters said I just hated. So that it really didn't work that well.
Worst birthday ever.
Oh gosh. Anyway, Final 15 they kind of did a better job at it, as from what I saw. So it's kind of
But,
like this.
Felix,
Yeah.
will Citron talk about cup noodles?
No, I guess we could do something like that, but I don't see any reason. Game
Recipe.
development? Will you make a game on this stream, or no? It's just we will work on this one game that we've been working on for a long time now, which is called CrossCode.
It would be really funny if you made a game, but you can only work on the game when you are on stream.
Yeah,
Really?
no, that will take a lot of streams, I think.
Yeah.
Felix, what are you drinking there? I see it every Sunday. You're drinking that bizarre bottle. It's a bizarre thing. It's Coke. It's just Coke. It's a German brand of Coke.
Yes.
That's it. Also Kappa. Speaking about battle map quote dialogues, we know Emily, Bio, but what about Citron? He is a relatively new character. I guess there will be a lore entry for Citron. Probably with the next version. I mean, we kind of have to update lore entries, I think. And there will be a little bit more written about him. Though we have to see how much is actually written about them. What actually did we write in Emily's bio entry?
Not much, I think. Wait a second, I'm not even sure what exactly is.
I just wonder if you now wrote like a whole biography about what Emily's background, even though we never heard about that. I mean, that would be kind of strange.
There is no real life background as far as I know.
Okay.
There is only. I mean, we could add that after.
I mean, you get her
scenes.
name. I think. I mean, that's one thing. Her full name.
Well,
is written
yeah,
there.
right,
But
right.
I
but
guess you get
otherwise-
the same. Actually, that's still a bug right now. That the name for Citron in the social menu actually says glasses. And that's
Well,
not
that's his name. That's how
no, it's
everyone
not.
calls
It's just that the asset of the character is called glasses because we didn't decide the name before.
So
created
basically,
the
the
asset.
glass set.
I guess.
I really like that track. Good,
Hmm?
good thinking, Taro.
What is this song? Sounds
It's
familiar.
from Pokemon X and Y. It's the Professor
Oh.
theme.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Oh yeah, the one with the
that's basically that
violin
that
that
theme-
was used for. Oh, that's not the same violin as in Emily's
Yeah,
theme,
theme.
right?
It's basically that one theme from that game that everyone
I almost picked that
falls in
violin
love
though.
with after the first time they hear
Okay.
it. Everyone. Okay, wait a second.
There's more questions actually. Will some of the dialogues be between Emily and Citron? And yes, I plan to have some dialogues. Actually, a lot of dialogues. I think that's something I would like to have a lot, like dialogues between characters, because that's the best way how I can build characters.
Yeah.
Those tend to be the
yeah.
most entertaining because
I mean,
because
Xenoblade
Emily
has those-
Leia can't say that much anyway. So the good thing is, since we only have at most 2 characters in a party in addition to Leia, there will be at most 3 party members in total, so including Leia. That means there are not too many combinations, and that makes it kind of feasible to write a lot of dialogues
Yep.
based on that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Xenoblade had those, and all those good BioWare games had those.
Mhm. Okay,
So-
how long have you been working on the game? Because I remember see a demo a few years ago, and yeah, the demo is already 2.5 years old.
And
to
there was
a
a tech
quarter,
demo even before that.
Something. Yeah, there was a tech demo which was way beyond that, over 4 years, I think. So it has been quite some time. Yes, we have been working on this game for a long time. Okay. Oh, have you ever played Final Fantasy X? If you have, what did you think about it? I think it's the best out of all, but no one seems to acknowledge it. I think Final Fantasy X is overall pretty popular, because it was a
It
good
is.
step in terms of graphics. I'm not sure it's the best. I grew up, my first Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy VII, so I'm a little bit biased toward that. Final Fantasy X, actually I also liked it back then. That was before I kind of started becoming critical about characters and plots, and then afterwards I actually realized that Final Fantasy X was kind of strange in that regard. But I actually liked the combat system from Final Fantasy X. I thought that was a nice twist, because the ATB
Oh, yeah.
was pretty nice, but Final Fantasy X had this was more this kind of turn-based, but you select each character. The CTB battle system had a high focus on strategy, and I like that a lot actually. It's kind of just it was kind of a shame that it was lost over time. I think towards the end,
the thing is, okay.
every character could do everything. That was kind of like
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like this thing that a normal attack would be more powerful than magic at some point?
So what?
Wasn't there this balancing problem that magic was basically useless later on because normal attacks were more powerful?
That's what that's how I saw it. Yeah, I mean the thing is, in the beginning, like magic was useful, but over time, especially in the end game, my impression I got was the only thing that was really make sense to use was normal attacks or like rapid slash, which is just a normal attack which is faster because you already reached the maximum damage ceiling.
Oh, that's like one of
there was like no point in doing anything else, so that was kind of ridiculous.
That's like one of the stupidest things. If you have like if you can't properly balance your late game, your game in the end phase because your damage limit is too
because of damage ceilings.
High enough.
I mean, I think the irony is actually they have a damage ceiling of 10,000, like 9,999, but there is, I think, a skill that it can equip or unlock that enables you to have actually 10k, like 100k, like 99,999 damage. So that kind of makes this part of the gameplay, the damage ceiling. Still,
that's not a good decision, I think.
also,
whatever.
Also don't think
I mean, Square often had like those weird kind of ideas, especially in Final Fantasy. But I mean, I heard that Final Fantasy then had a really good battle system that even some RPG Maker games copied it.
Yeah,
but those weren't really good, sadly.
Yeah, especially they never got finished. So it's like so many RPG Maker games. Yeah, some backgrounds like the RPG Maker game that I created back then, Velzabor, was a lot inspired by Final Fantasy X. You see that in the combat system. It's pretty much the same, kind of like in combination with some ideas from Chrono Cross and also Valkyrie Profile. There's always some Valkyrie Profile in there because I'm
mostly
a big fan of that. Mostly the animations,
And little fun fact: that very same game is the one that is played on the cargo ship by that one guy.
I already cancelled my pre-order for the new Game Plus by Adrenaline Fish Games. What? I don't get that one. What pre-order of the new Game Plus? Why did you pre-order the new Game Plus?
Just the new Game Plus, not the normal game.
Okay, then it's fine, I guess. Didn't plan to sell that one anyway, so... There's a bigger chance the devs will notice your question if you add Adrenaline Fish Games before it. Yes. That's right. That's why we just read your statement there. How long have you... Okay, I think that's all actually. Oh no, there's one here. Make Apollo call Citron classes. Actually, that's a nice idea. I might consider that or something like this. Kind of like characters calling other characters' names is actually a cool thing to do. Builds characters.
Also, someone said, "Oh, question for devs: does CrossCode have any inspiration at all from .hack? It reminds me a bit of it in its own way."
Yeah. I mean, I played the first .hack game and I saw some of the anime, so it is an inspiration to some extent. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like not the biggest inspiration of everything, but at least in terms of story, I mean, but it's more about the concept really. Oh, okay, I just read this question. Some short girl talks? No.
No.
Good evening, guys. Good evening, Matchstulle.
Matchstulle, yay! Let's have a Matchstulle.
Matchstulle actually sounds like a good idea, but I don't have any Matt here. So.
But I have to admit, I'm not really that big of a fan of Matt on Stulle. I'm rather a fan of Matt Brötchen.
Yeah, that's true. Matt Brötchen is better.
Because I think like white Brötchen are actually bring out the taste of the Matt much better.
And there's not too much taste in Matt, so that's why it shouldn't.
Matt has I mean, if you have enough zwiebeln in it, like enough.
Yeah, well, the onions give it Matt, but you actually season it with some additional pepper and stuff like this.
Yeah,
so
right. But
Yeah, like we're already talking about this stuff like this, I still have to start the actual game dev part. Okay.
oh yeah, right.
But we're actually not too bad today. Also, I actually checked cross-centric question and there's none, as usual.
Oh,
so
what is the price?
if there's anyone here in the chat among our original backers from the Indiegogo campaign, please write a cross-centric questions. We didn't have any questions for so long. I know. It's like I promised the next cross-centric question that will be written in there. I will spend at least 5 minutes answering that. I promise. No matter what question it is. Just ask a question and I will spend 5 minutes talking about it.
And then people are asking about like
yeah.
things like wait, you know what I'm gonna.
How many
Anyway,
letters
how's
does
your sex life?
Oh boy.
Something like
oh
that.
boy. Please don't make that. Please don't do that.
How's your
Um,
sex life?
Chicken.
That sounds about right.
Sounds like cock.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. That was
What?
chicken. That was
Yeah,
chicken.
cock is a kind of chicken. What do
No,
you
it's much like a bull is a kind of cow. So, all right. Yes. First thing I'm gonna do is just show a little bit of the new cave, but trying not to spoil too much, I guess. I can just show the map. Look, it's the map. Actually, that's the map we started. The one we did during the last stream, so that one is finished. That one is also finished. That's the one we started in last stream as well, but didn't make too much progress. And there's a third map, so it's just 3 maps really. It's not a very long dungeon, but it has a couple of fights, and I can just quickly jump in here and you get some impression how it looks like. So actually I should start the game the other way. Just have to start my IDE.
Oh, damn! There are already German Ghost in the Shell.
He looks.
advertisements.
It's uterus map. No. Gosh damn it.
It's uterus map.
It changed. It looks different now. Come on.
Felix,
Doesn't-
did we get banned on Twitch? for
I
that?
don't think so. No. We got lucky.
Or
We didn't catch it.
maybe we got like listed as like objectionable content on YouTube.
Yeah. Who knows?
It wouldn't surprise me with the stupid new system that they have.
Yeah. Just scanning for.
By the
certain
way,
words.
King Puddy has properly added the pictures that he wanted to show in the multimedia access.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
it was basically a screenshot of a GameStar video that
Okay.
I'm just watching, which is basically those are the true most popular Steam games, and it's basically a screenshot of them showing the Steam Spy list with
And
CrossCode
CrossCode
on.
was in there somewhere. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, on 12. I mean, right now we are on 8 even, I think.
Oh, that's nice.
Wait a second, I think we're
It
at...
looks beautiful.
Oh no, we are
Felix.
11.
Thank you.
We're at 11 actually.
11. Oh well, yeah. I mean
I think
that's
we were 8
such
at some point, but...
could be. I mean it's just recently we had another negative review of somebody saying that the
Oh,
game
yeah.
is boring. Very thanks.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
It was just...
That was it.
It was-
So,
we are getting slammed with a huge array of negative reviews, guys.
well, no.
Unbelievable.
You
We have
can't avoid
16
it.
now.
Anyway,
Yeah, I know.
question actually: what are bonus codes used for? What
Oh yeah.
like what kind of stuff? What kind of stuff does it do? That button always intrigues me. Like bonus codes are small gimmicks that you can enable by just entering the right code. There are currently only 2 of those, and they're not really relevant for the game. They just give you like items that, I mean, that can be pretty useful, the items, but they're not really necessary to know the game. But if you ask around, people can tell you the text, or if you Google a bit, and that's all there is really. I think there's just one thing for an item, one that enables actually a quest. Actually, the quest kind of arguably has a big impact on the game. Like it's a fairly big quest that it can enable actually. Maybe you should kind of like try to make this part of the actual game, not locked behind the bonus code. I don't know. Alright.
You mean the Santa quest?
The Holiday Man quest, yes.
The holiday, yeah, I like the Holiday Man quest.
Alright.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I hate some web design, seriously. Where you just move your mouse at slightly the wrong place, and some drop down shit comes in your way when you want to click something else, and then you move to a different side. I fucking hate that.
Oh boy, yeah. Anyway, so here you have the new cave, and you see there's actually some talking going on when you enter. So, and then you got sandworms, and unfortunately I'm level 1, so I'm gonna die. But yeah, in theory you would fight those. I could cheat, but I kinda don't want to. I don't want to show too much, but yeah, that's more or less what we've been working on this week. Actually, the story, the stuff that you will see in the story.
Are they making laugh? What do you mean, the sandworms?
What? I don't think so. They're just worms.
Oh, there's also a new Grandea update. You should totally play Grandea.
Man,
guys.
this place is expertly designed. God damn it! I was supposed to praise myself, but I kind of like thought people would say that. It was meant in a different way. No, never mind.
Wait, didn't that already happen once? Like...
Hmm?
Oh no, it's just that sometimes Sergey basically lampshades stupid quest writing.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's something that will happen a lot with Citron 2, I think. He's actually one who kind of like lampshade things a bit.
Yeah.
Kind of like... That's now we're coming to the part where we move towards game development, because I will mostly now start writing dialogues with Citron, Emily and Leah. Like, Leah is not complicated to write, as you can imagine, but Emily and Citron are a bit more complicated. And but recently actually kind of like decided how exactly Citron will talk, and I mean, he doesn't have a lot of text, and what text he has in the current version will actually be adapted. That's actually one thing I can do as well during the stream today, kind of adapt those battle text, because the thing we decide to go with first is that he makes a lot of ice puns. But that was really random because we decided that he really likes ice cream. That's one thing that will also stay. And then we just continued that thought and said, yeah, let's let him make a lot of ice puns. But then recently I kind of realized that it really doesn't fit, because if you do ice puns, you have to say stuff like, oh, that's cool, and I know, to chill. That's all kind of like the ice puns that he can do. But if you look at the design of Citron, he doesn't look like somebody who would say that. He doesn't look like a cool dude. He looks like a nice dude. Nice is also an ice pun, but like an ice dude. But, you know, he's not supposed to say cool and chill, so I decided to not do this. So instead he says okie dokie. That's something I decided. Like something really old-fashioned.
Like him.
That sounds kind of like... I was thinking that's the only character who would probably say that in the whole game. So that's kind of like a catchphrase. And we also decided that he will actually not say any curse words, stuff like this. So he's just like a very nice, polite guy. That's Citron. And also what we decided to do is that he will also talk talk about scientific facts. Kind of like random scientific facts that he will talk about all kind of things, and kind of like try to make some funny dialogues based on that. And it works rather well. Actually, I think I remember some time ago in the Discord somebody actually mentioned that worms have 5 hearts. And I think that actually gave me that idea, to be honest. So, and I thought, hey, actually I could use this fact for some dialogue with the sandworms. And I got this idea that Citron could now use scientific facts and things like this.
And it would also basically write lore.
So what?
By itself. It would basically also write lore.
Yeah, well...
in the meantime.
Yeah, essentially yes. Right, so that's kind of like the idea, that he's kind of like just somebody who is coming around with random facts that maybe you don't even care about, and that's also how the characters will react to that. Citron layer. You know that water has 3 states? Yes, something like this, though that's a little bit maybe too trivial.
Oh yes.
actually, I found something nice. Actually, what I did is just before the stream, I wrote down all the enemies that you meet in the heat area for now. Right? So you have sand sharks, scorpions, vulturine, and turtles. And the goal is that we write like a little comment to each of those enemies. It should not be always the same, kind of like, it doesn't always have to be a scientific fact because it would be too repetitive over some time, but kind of like something in this direction anyway. And I found something else, that shark skeletons are actually made of cartilage, which is Knorpel in German, and not bones. And now we have actually shark skeletons jumping around, which are not even bones, you know? And that's something that he could talk about, for instance. I thought was kind of fitting.
It's different on Shadoon. Explained.
Yeah, I mean that's something that I know. I mean he's aware of that, but he still kind of like makes these remarks all the time. Like sharks even don't have proper bones; they just are made of cartilage. Oh, never mind. What kind of facts does Citron know? More biology or kind of scientific facts? I would say whatever fits. Like, it's mostly biology, maybe some physics here and there. Whatever kind of like... Sorry, what?
What?
What is Intero?
Never mind.
What? I didn't understand.
I said plasma.
Plasma, oh. Pulatema meinst du?
Okay.
Plasma.
Pulatema. That's what I understood anyway back then. Oh gosh, yes, I remember this. I heard CrossCode becomes a piracy shield. Like Leia shows her muscles always if you try to make damage. What?
What do you...
Like Leia shows her muscles always if you try to make damage. I don't get it.
I don't get it neither. CrossCode becomes a piracy shield. With Leia shows her muscles always
maybe
if you try to
maybe
make
Irvin
damage.
just makes it to his task so they just confuse us in this street.
Yeah, I think so, because I don't get any of his questions today.
What happened to Intero? I don't know. He just
That's
says,
a good question.
yeah.
It's a good...
I'm here.
CrossCode against
I'm
piracy.
silent. Probably a little shy.
I don't know. Actually, CrossCode is pretty... Like, we don't even have proper DRM, so...
Yeah. Whatever, man.
Whatever. That's our policy to DRM, whatever, man. Like, who needs that anyway, right? Okay, let's go. Most of these dialogues are actually written in the database, because they're not attached to any map. They must be accessible from every map, depending on the enemy you currently defeated, so... That's why we have these common events here, and there's a lot of different types. You know, like back in the RPG Maker days, like the good old common events. Oh gosh, my screen is too small. Reduce the browser size. Okay, let's see. First of all, let's maybe adapt like the dialogues.
So Felix, I'm kinda trying to I'm kinda watching this GameStar video meanwhile, and we kind of have had bad luck because he basically talked about all those games on the list, but only up to place 10, I guess.
And 11 was CrossCode or what? Or
12 was CrossCode.
Dang it!
But the fun thing is, I mean, CrossCode was on 8, like a week ago. So basically, that one negative review cost us like without the negative review, we would have gotten featured in this that GameStar video.
We'll find Dr. Wowie.
Screw that!
Screw
that review! Just because one rando thought it was boring. God damn it!
Well, the thing is, I mean, I don't think it would have made that much influence anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I recently looked up the
Sorry,
looked
I'm
up how-
out cold.
looked
What
up how
the
many readers like a print magazine like GameStar has, and GameStar is basically the most popular computer gaming magazine in Germany, and it's like a few 10,000, so it's not even that big of a deal.
Okay, right, so now I'm kind of writing the reactions when class is defeated, like, I mean, Citron is defeated. And so here we can actually use all these kind of like censored curse words, like he's saying drat or snap or stuff like this. Actually, I made some notes. Probably should look up those notes.
Oh my god!
But I actually have to make sure that I don't show those notes on screen. I'm not very good at this.
That's the kind of thing you say, right?
Yeah, well, oh god, this...
Oh my god!
Yes. Okay. Or just dang it. You could also say dang it. Holy shit and terror, was this a JoJo reference?
Was this a JoJo reference?
Oh my gosh.
Yes, 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 yes.
Oh my god. Manga Comic Con Leipzig was awesome, but no shirt girls in 96. Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Please some Joe jokes in CrossCode. What? Joe jokes.
See if we could draw some interesting poses.
What
for
space
the-
nationality is
for the
Citron?
people.
Probably Space Iceland.
God damn it.
I can't think of anything else. Okay, gosh.
We have so many sounds.
Personally, I prefer friends.
Why is that, Taro? I have no idea.
Yeah, we have too many. Let me check out some sounds we haven't used for an eternity.
Wow, there are so many, I can guarantee you.
Gosh, I messed up, sorry. Kind of like he's the kind of character who's more likely to say sorry than Emily, much more. So, that's kind of like how I imagine him anyway.
Wait, wasn't Psych Xeon really Space Aegis? I mean, wasn't Xeon more like,
Come on, step it up!
maybe like the German before like World War One, more in some way?
Sploosh!
God damn it, what?
About the amount of regeneration the player
Suck on
gets.
this!
Is there like RNG in there, or is it all depend on the player's stats and equipment?
I am a slave to
There
my
should
means.
be, I think there is 5% RNG in there. Like 5% randomness.
Oh really? Okay. Well, yeah, sure, right.
think
I mean,
so,
otherwise the numbers would be the same all the time.
Yeah. And now you're going to say, yeah, you get some Joe jokes in CrossCode. Okay.
Yes! Yes!
There might
must
actually
be the
already
work.
be one. But no, wait, but we definitely...
Yes!
We will definitely try to fit in some JoJo references. I mean, it's
Sure.
JoJo.
You already have like Sao Paulo essentially in there, so
Yeah, it
sure.
just
Hold on.
isn't called it.
Sao Paulo, yes.
Der Wald? Der Waldo.
Der Waldo. Wo ist Waldo?
How many planets have humans colonized in this game universe? It's a secret.
Secret. Or in other
It's
words,
a
we did.
secret.
It's a secret.
God damn it, Taro, are you really trying to use all the sounds now?
Yes. That was the
Stop
plan.
it. I mean, real
Oh,
world
no.
lore and CrossCode is really limited. So maybe you will tell you at some point. Maybe not. For fuck's sake.
Dang it, let's take him out of nowhere. That's what I'm gonna say now. Okay. So,
Is that from Serious Sam or what game was it again?
yeah, serious Sam.
Because I still remember those suicide bombing enemies from that game. They were really fun.
Okay. So what else should he say when he comes back from the game? When he's
From the
back, when he comes back after having died during combat.
Died.
What is your major
Did you know?
stat?
I
am a boy!
have a great fact, Felix.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna use this.
Leah.
I am a boy. That one is correct.
Leah, did you know that people die when they are kids?
It's a scientific fact.
It's a scientific fact. Leah, did you know that
Chickens die when you eat them.
or no, Leah, did you know
Chicken.
that
Hopefully before that.
did you know that the body becomes stiff a few minutes after dying? It's because of blah blah
That
blah.
didn't went too well is not correct grammar. That's correct.
I am
is
very
it?
hungry.
Oh, I just renamed this to I'm a boy, so that's okay. Oh,
Alright.
here it is. That didn't go too well. So.
God damn it, Taro.
But this one is oh. Looks like I wasn't quite up to the challenge. That
Hey,
didn't go-
baby!
Oh, we have this. That's also a good line for him, right?
You are tearing me apart!
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Or
If you die in the game, you die in real life. Much
doggy.
later, usually.
yeah, that's true.
That is good.
Like,
But like this
could
is a
not-
very nice saying, but not something I would use when he recovers after being alive.
I mean,
also.
he could say something like,
Boy!
right, that one. He could say something
Boy.
like, haha, it's a good thing that you don't die, when you're killed here, right? Haha.
Yeah, it's like I'm
Yeah,
back.
like,
I'm alive.
No.
Good thing. Good thing you don't die when you are killed here. Right? Oh man, this is actually too much.
It's too
This is so
it's too
stupid.
stupid.
It's
Yeah,
too
we-
stupid. It's like it's something you read all the time, and that you have to be careful with these kind of.
By the way,
Thanks.
how does, for fuck's sake, Taro. How do
The timing of this sound
yeah.
is horrible. It's like
Sorry. I
How
can't type as fast as I can.
how do players actually perceive like getting killed in CrossCode? Do they get like a blue screen?
I think it's more like it's fading out and then they're just appearing somewhere else. That's
Okay.
how I would see it. But it's kind of like how it's in CrossCode, it just fades to white. So
Okay.
What's this?
blue screen,
Ah.
Trombone, I guess.
leave some for me. Nah, that's something that Emily would say, but not
Yeah, that's
Citron.
one Emily said.
Citron is not the kill hungry, not the guy hungry for kills. He's more like the support guy, really.
He would kind of be like
Chicken.
the healer character from Tales of Symphonia, who
Kinda
would
like
say
this.
something like, let's begin the research when beginning the battle.
Yeah,
then
but
again,
he's not too strong
Yeah.
to be a scientist. It's more like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
always come with his fun facts, but otherwise
He's
it's
very
not.
chill. He's very
I have
cool.
an idea.
Yeah.
What if you consume an item that heals like a lot of HP? What if Leia just chows down on the whole chicken?
With that
And
sound.
then chicken. I'm sure that would have no copyright problems.
if
Not
we
exactly
redo the
that
sound.
but it's something larger than just a little sandwich.
I mean, well, if you find the time, I plan to add some custom graphics for food, and then we can do weird stuff like this if you want to.
Yes, the Spheromancer class is really made up of Spheromancers. I fucking hate.
I'm the coolest.
I
I
fucking
wonder what
hate
kind
fa-
of skills you get when you reach max level. Maybe I can punch like in that one anime. Yeah.
That one anime will never get referenced in CrossCode.
No.
It
why
has too
would we
it
ever?
has it
Why
has
would we
too
ever?
many
That's-
social it has too much social commentary, which is too deep for CrossCode.
The emerald is somewhere in this room.
Yeah. I feel like Citron likes the X-Files. Oh,
Maybe.
maybe.
Hi, I just got your studio's game, CrossCode. It is really nice and enjoyable. Do you know if the game is close to being fully released or a couple of years still into early access?
At least 4 years or no, that's
No.
I mean, the plan was actually to finish the game by September.
Now we're getting started.
By September this year, so that's how we have it on the schedule. But I'm not sure if you will make it. We have to see. Things are progressing a bit slow at the moment, so I have to be careful not to be too slow. Yeah. Anyway.
You're too slow.
Great! You're too slow!
Right, there you go.
You're still standing. Okay, you say standing strong? Is that something you say?
I also feel like this game is similar to Old Boy in the awesomeness and creativity. Have you guys have tried that indie game as well?
Owlboy.
Felix has.
Yes.
Old Boy, yeah.
Yes, I played Owlboy, and it's really incredible in terms of graphics. I have to say, so a very impressive piece of work. Yeah, and it's, I think we are both games like Owlboy and CrossCode are both a lot inspired by these kind of Super Nintendo graphics, though I think Owlboy is even going a bit beyond that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's more like some of those PlayStation graphics, and even beyond that, like PlayStation 2D graphics that you sometimes have.
You have
PlayStation
delayed the game
graphics
like
like-
4 times now. I know. It's just how it is. I'm sorry. we could just not delay the game and just create something that's not complete if you prefer that. But I guess most people won't prefer that.
Don't worry. I mean, we don't plan to delay it too much ourselves. I mean, we kind of want to have
Yeah.
finished stuff as well. What do we have? We need a character who gives you a whole bunch of crosswords rumors when you
Can I
talk
say
to
a
them.
new word for
Some are
Secret,
true,
Felix,
some
please?
aren't,
What?
some can't be verified within the scope of CrossCode. I mean, sure, I mean, NPCs that give you rumors will definitely be a big thing, or rather, I mean, it makes sense for CrossCode to have NPCs like that. It's just that we don't
What
have.
the heck? Oh, okay, that thing looks cool. Some kind of a spider. Some ball turning into a spider. Though it's not really a spider
Is it-
because he only had 6 legs as far as I can see it.
Looks kind of like a Star Wars design.
Yeah.
Okay, not fancy, fancy enough.
Yeah, the thing, Crazy Freddy, is we are really bad, like, it's difficult to set realistic deadlines. And the downside of making an estimate which is overly careful is that it takes away your pressure. Kind of like you don't
Yeah,
feel any
that's true.
pressure in making sure that you reach that goal. So kind of like setting yourself goals which are maybe a bit overconfident kind of helps to push the whole thing. If I would now say, okay, we release by end of 2018, there's a big chance we won't be even finished then. If I now say we will finish this year in September, we actually will try to work towards this goal. And if we don't make it, that's sad. but we will most definitely make it in 2018 then, if you don't reach it at this time. That's kind of like the idea. So I know it's difficult. I mean, that's the first big game we create, which is kind of, that's why we are pretty bad at making these kind of estimates. But even big companies fail over and over again doing proper estimates of the game, and in their case they often cannot postpone the game, so you get an unfinished game. But if you don't like the fact that we postpone it, just assume that the game will release end of 2018, so you won't be disappointed. That's all I can tell you. But we will continue giving more optimistic estimates, because it really helps us to actually make progress.
Yeah, and also, I mean, at least we are giving you like regular updates and stuff like that, so you know that it won't be that we are not like twiddling our thumbs and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway. Alright. Did I just close everything and didn't save anything? Yes.
There's still.
Oh.
Anime was a mistake.
That sound will never be not good.
I do say that the creator himself, Monty did in fact refer to this as an anime.
This.
That reminds me, Felix, we still need to watch this anime movie with your name.
Yeah, the one we couldn't find any means to see it.
Yeah.
I still want to watch that one too, yeah.
Did you hear about that Jontron fiasco?
I heard about it a little bit here and there, I read about it, but I didn't see what he said himself.
I mean,
so.
usually I don't really care that much for that stuff, but I mean, I do follow Jontron, and I gotta be honest, it did annoy me a bit how he basically didn't get the message that he should maybe not be so, I don't know. I mean, he sometimes sounded a bit like he wanted to create a bit of fuss, like for the lulz and stuff. I mean, I can definitely understand Platonic for doing what they're doing, but yeah, I mean, it's debatable. I don't really care either way, to be honest.
So it's great that you guys at least have a plan for a schedule for release, even if there's delay. There are dev companies who have been early access for 2+ years, like we are pretty soon, with only 10 hours of gameplay. I heard like Secret of Grand. Yeah, well, I mean that's also what we think. It's kind of like it's good to have this kind of goal in mind and kind of like try to plan for something, even if it's likely that you will not make it.
Oh, Pete, I didn't know that that Jontron is a big supporter of Native Americans. Man, that's cool to know.
Okay.
No, it's more like a joke, I think, because he said nativists. I just looked it up on Wikipedia, and it sounds like, well, I guess he supports Native Americans.
Here you guys talk about anime movies. Have you ever watched this animated movie called The Boy and the Beast? English name. It's very good. Okay.
Isn't that like
Boy!
isn't that like the one with the I think I know which one you mean. Isn't that the one with the boy and this bear? And the boy and the bear is like, I haven't watched it, but it looked really cool. Native Germans
going strong. Okay.
You guys are native Europeans, right?
Yes.
Or native Germans, I should say. Not all of us. And also native Germans is like a really, really fun term. Because Germany over the centuries had like tons of immigration and like, how's it called? Völkerwanderung?
I think that's migrations, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, Central Europe had so much migration during the centuries.
Yeah.
It's really hard to talk about like native native population. I mean, unless you want to say like native of the last 300 years or 500.
Yeah.
Then I guess it might apply to me, but then again,
Like several people in our team have at least partly are not fully Germany, like have parents which are not German. So
I think
as
part
far
of my
as I
family
know.
also comes from like Eastern Europe a few generations back. But it's hard to say. I mean, does any country besides the United States refer someone as native?
Look.
I'm not sure. Some maybe. I mean, I think no one in Germany would talk about would use the German word for natives, because it also sounds really stupid. Like, what's the word for it? Ureingeborener? Ureinwohner?
Yeah,
Eingeborener?
Ureinwohner
It sounds like really. I mean, the only way you use that is like saying it in like to make fun of something. Oh, it's like die Ureinwohner von Bayern. like when you're talking about people in Lederhosen.
Okay.
Back in the days, we used to have Vikings and Templars.
Yes.
Back in the days.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's kind of like, as I suspected, it's really difficult to write dialogues during a stream.
Yeah, I told you so. But
Yeah, I kind of like, I don't know, I just wanted to try it. But anyway, I managed to write kind of like
Felix,
change
I have
the
an idea
dialogue
how
here.
it would be easier.
Yes.
Let Citron be a Gundam fan, and then we can talk about Gundam, and it will be really. For fuck's sake, Taro.
God damn it, Taro.
Gerd Wilders, so much
Yeah,
fun.
no.
I recently read his program. He's really funny.
Oh, who did?
Basically, Netherlands Donald Trump. You know, also has fun hair.
Okay.
And says some really funny things.
Oh, jeez. Please explain this. What is this?
Oh yeah, right. Shoot his money. It's a parody, guys. Don't
Yeah, that one is a
take it too
parody.
seriously.
Yeah. Actually, I never watched this movie. I have to admit.
I watched it partially. I think it's
Yeah.
like one of
I
the
think I
most.
also watched it partially.
It's like one of the most successful German movies of all time, I think. And of
What?
course, it's one of the most successful German movies of all time,
Is
I
it?
think.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, and of course, it's a stupid comedy movie. I mean, it's one of the better stupid comedy movies, but still.
It did have its moment.
It's basically all we Germans can do in terms of movie making. Either some really good dramas
Hmm.
and movies that nobody will watch, or stupid comedy movies with like famous comedians who are famous because they are famous and people get told that they have to like them, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Bully Herbig is a pretty funny guy at least. So
I actually really liked his comedy show back then.
yeah, I mean, his comedy show was really good.
Yeah. It's a lot of nice sketches. Okay, actually, now I'm gonna write some dialogue for.
Has any other qualities in programming and than programming and game design? Yes,
Chicken.
I'm extremely charming and attractive. And I have
I'm
great
not.
puns.
So.
And I'm also really punny and funny.
Yes. What was this question?
If I have other qualities in programming and game design. I say
Oh.
qualities means like...
Oh, I'm
I
really
mean-
bad at spotting questions sometimes.
Why are liberal insults... I mean, aren't all insults weak? Or not all, but many. I mean, it's kind of in the nature of. For fuck's sake, Taro. How many? What is it this time? Oh, bike.
It's always the same theme. There's like, why? It's like they made a competition who raised the most stupid remix of the
I know, right?
Yeah.
of the Neon Genesis Evangelion opening. It's
But at least this isn't as obnoxious as the air horn one.
I guess, yeah.
It's not as annoying, at least.
Why? Okay, guys, let me at least try to explain what I'm actually doing here. I'm implementing a command event. We have a certain type which is called cooldown start. That type of event is called whenever the cooldown starts after after you defeated the current set of enemies. And you can specify a number of conditions, like how many enemies you have killed before, what your combat rank is, or like what rank you have just reached. You can also react to this, but most importantly you can specify which enemies you just have defeated. And depending on that, you can essentially run an event. You can also specify here an additional condition, like let's say that the party includes Citran. That's an important condition here because he's supposed to say something. So the guy is called classes, so party has classes. And then I can actually specify here the run on trigger. So here I can specify when you actually run an event. Like you can do it for every instance, like the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, or I can say just do it the third time this condition is fulfilled. So that kind of like makes sure he doesn't say something every time you defeat an enemy, but only the third time you defeated some enemy. So maybe you want to spread it out if the enemy is very common. I think for Scorpions I would say after the second time you could say something, and maybe after 5 enemies you could say something else. And so here I can now start actually.
How long is this shitty?
This is too long.
Ugh.
So of course we can't have a desert without scorpions. Of course we can't have a desert without scorpions. Desert with one S, right?
What happens if 2 of these combat events occur at the same time?
They're actually evaluated in a way that only one is picked. That's kind of like how it works. Whenever the cooldown event starts, it just goes through a list of all events that could potentially be executed. It just picks one of them, and this one is executed. Yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Is it like an extended version, or what is this?
I don't know.
Okay, it's almost done. Alright. Would you hire a writer if you have the budget, or would you still do it yourselves?
So what? Would you hire a writer if you had the budget, or would you still do it yourself? It's kind of complicated. The thing is, actually, I think for the next project I might consider hiring a writer. But, I mean, first of all, yes, it's a cost factor, and then you need somebody that you actually know that he writes in a way that you like. And I kind of think that might be maybe a bit difficult to find.
I mean, we could ask Yun or Lun Kalsari.
Who's that again?
He's cool. The one from The Way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking too as well.
He's a pretty cool guy, and he definitely knows what to do, how to write good characters.
Yeah, Bayern song style, exactly.
What did he do?
The stream became more German now.
Yeah.
Of course, we can't have a desert without scorpions.
Like, to be honest, I don't know many professional in quotation marks writers. So, I mean, I do know a few really a few hobby writers, or who do it semi-professional, and I mean, they usually share they really share the attributes that they usually are really super self-critical of themselves. At least that's those that I know. But I mean, I know the kind of writer you mean, definitely. Especially, I mean, that's always the thing with hiring someone for writing. What the fuck is this again? If hiring someone for writing, that's you basically give away a really big part of your game, and which is also really subjective in its quality. Like when you give away, like when you hire a graphic artist or something.
Samurai. I don't know. I watched this video recently.
Hire a samurai.
Hire a samurai. Yes. Hire a samurai. Then it's rather objective. I mean, I wish you hire a samurai. It's rather objective what you
Breaking
what
news:
you get.
the Mongols have invaded China.
No,
We've
that's
invaded
again.
China.
Said the Mongols.
Please respect us, or else we
For
might
fuck's
invade
sake,
you
can
as
I-
well.
Yeah.
Can
we
I
can't-
say my sentence?
No, we can't have a serious discussion. No, stop it.
It's terrible.
Good thing I say nothing.
Yes, otherwise nothing will work.
I mean, the thing is, if
Well,
you
it
hire a
doesn't-
graphic artist, then you usually have a certain objective result at the end. I mean, it's not all objective, but it's like usually you see it looks good, okay, it's fine. But for writing, it's often much harder to say if the writing is actually satisfying at the end. If you
I think
hire
if you have actually somebody who's supposed to take care of the writing, you have to involve this person early on with the style of writing, kind of like you
yeah,
have
definitely. So
to
it's
involve it with the when you develop the story and the characters, and
you can't hire like a complete stranger as a writer, like midway through the game. It just
Yeah.
won't work, I think.
Yeah, though actually, I'm kind of. It's like, to some extent, it's kind of like, hey, you essentially take care of the writing for a lot of the quests, and I'm actually essentially not directing this at all. And
Yeah, but we
I
are
think it
kind
works
of-
surprisingly well, kind of like.
But the good thing is, like, I mean, that's a great thing with Leia not talking. Can we
Yeah,
please skip
like-
this shit? It's really
Like
hard
you
to
can't.
talk.
It's difficult to mess up Layer's dialogue, and I think the
Yeah.
important thing is that, like, characters have to be written by the same person, so somehow, because if the same person takes care of the same character, it's kind of consistent. But if several
Yeah.
people write the same character, you might sooner or later realize, okay, that kind of sounds a bit different, and because it's really difficult to emulate the exact same writing style.
It's
that
very
you have.
difficult to emulate Emily.
Yeah.
Emulate. Yeah, that and all. I mean, usually, I write the quest dialogue, and then I usually have to write my own NPCs. That I'm all in charge of thinking what dialogue will what personality will those NPCs have, what style of speak and such, and so it's kind of works. And also, there is this thing that we basically know each other for over a decade now, and I guess we kind of know each other's style a bit in that regard. I think that also helps a bit. And also, let me just think. And
Did
also,
you know that scorpions
quest dialogue.
can survive a whole year with one meal?
What? They
Yes.
can? Seriously?
Yes, I actually looked that up.
Oh, so it's
Up
true
to 1
science
year.
facts.
It's true, yeah, of course. I always do my research. I searched one page on Google that states that it's true, so I believe it. Maybe I should be a bit more careful, but if anybody here who's a scorpion expert will tell me if that's true, they can survive up to 1 year. I read 6 to 12 months.
Do we have any evidence that backs it up? Yes, please, Wikipedia.
Yes. Kind of amazing. Actually, pretty amazing. It's kind of weird. It's like it's difficult. Like everybody has its his or her own writing habits. And it's sometimes I notice that I tend to write certain things always the same way, and actually you should be able to kind of like get rid of that, but it's difficult.
And you also complain a lot about me writing sentences too long.
Yeah, well,
I think.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, it's quest dialogues. I mean, I have to introduce the NPC and like the whole faction that they represent, kind of in a short way in one dialogue, because I can't really split that up too much. And that's like. But yeah, I mean, I do try to keep it short anyway. I mean, it's kind of important. It's true. I mean, I really realized that with the minor dialogue, which is still way too long. Still have to shorten it at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw it, like when I saw like a let's player like go through the dialogue, I realized, man, the dialogue.
It always
still
helps
way
a
too
lot
long.
watching players.
Yeah, let's players
reading
really
your
help.
own scenes, because then you kind of realize when they kind of like start becoming impatient. So it's
You know
it's
what
always,
game has really good dialogues?
I know. Wait a second. I know. What was the name again of the game? Bastion.
Bastion was good, yeah.
What about?
But it doesn't have good dialogue because it
doesn't. Phoenix Wright.
Oh
Phoenix
yeah, okay.
Wright. Yeah, Phoenix Wright is pretty good. Though, yeah, I think that the dialogues are always pretty good. It's like sometimes, I think kind of like, it's more like...
Not enough memes.
No, it's just...
They always manage to put in lots of flavor text in there too.
yeah, they did, but... It's kind of like sometimes, it's less about the dialogues, it's more like how sometimes the logic behind the cases kind of like is really confusing.
Yeah, okay,
like
that's true.
it's kind of because they kind of create a certain type of gameplay based on the case, and sometimes it feels a bit unnatural, though. And I think there have been cases where I was really annoyed by characters, but that's probably not because the writing was bad, because I just didn't like the way the characters behaved. But otherwise, yeah.
So who can Leia date in this game? The dating system is not finalized, so...
I think I also have a sound from another game with great dialogues. But I messed up the sound. Damn it, how was it? Do you know this one, Taro?
It's
Final... Oh no. Oh no. Was it just battle? No.
That
I
could
have
be.
no idea.
This is the final battle.
Exactly.
What was it? What was
What?
that game again? I forget it all the time.
What?
Which game was it?
That
What?
was, I don't know, Out of the Dead or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. Xenogears had really good dialogues. Actually,
Chicken.
the thing about Xenogears is I also remember it being really awesome, but when I saw a Let's Play recently and I saw the dialogues, I thought,
Too long.
no, it's like some of them have been rather strange by today's standard. It's kind of like, sometimes it's a good idea to play things again you experienced a long time ago, because these days, I mean, some of the dialogues in Xenogears kind of seemed a bit forced to me when I saw it again. So, what about Machika? You mean Madoka Machika? I'm actually not a fan of this anime, I have to admit. Maybe that one was too... I don't know. Too much emotions for something. Yeah, I hate emotions.
Yeah, right. Feelings
We're
that
back
is
to that.
emotions
So
again.
it's like they made
when
such
will
a...
the oh, okay.
Compared to 587, yes, probably. But that's
When
not
will the fishing system be re-implemented?
sometime, maybe.
Also, and also, how many creatures can Leia ride? I will settle for no less than 3. It depends what you consider riding. I mean, she can ride platforms. Are platforms
Yeah.
creature?
We just have to give them eyes, and then they're creatures, and then you can ride creatures.
There is a dating system. I mean, I haven't played your game for a while, but how is a dating system in CrossCode possible? Well, you see,
It involves bolts one way or the other.
yes, definitely.
I still think, I mean, what I think where Xenoblade just really shines is kind of like the whole lore and kind of like how the story evolves over time, and the whole conclusion I think is pretty amazing still to this day. So actually I watched the Let's Play a bit kind of like to see how good the story actually holds up, because in my head Xenogears is kind of like the best story ever. This was actually about Xenoblade. Damn, I always mix those up.
Felix.
Xenoblade actually I think has pretty good writing, yeah, from what I remember.
Felix, he didn't mean Madoka Magica. He meant a game called Magica,
Magica.
which I only know by name, to be honest. So
I think he
don't
meant
know.
Magic's Obscura.
No.
Okay.
He just posted the screenshots. So
Magica, I think this is game where you play mages, right? I think it
Yeah,
has
I guess.
it's kind of like this funny writing. I actually have this game, interestingly.
oh,
And I
really?
played it a bit, yeah. I got it a longer time ago. And it's pretty funny, yeah, from what I remember.
Actually, I mean, Xenoblade had some really good dialogue writing, I think.
Yeah, Xenoblade. Big difference, Xenoblade had good writing, not Xenoblade X. I still believe Xenoblade X has horrible writing
Xenoblade
for the
X
most part.
had some good writing. It was really unsteady, but it had great food jokes.
No.
Okay.
That's
Have you
kind of
finished
like
Zelda? How would you rate the game, and what do you think about it?
Breath of the Wild, I assume.
guess so.
I still didn't finish it, I have to admit. But that's not because it's not fun. It's more like I had to force myself to stop playing it so I could actually work on CrossCode. I mean, I was addicted to this game for about a week, and it has been a long time since I have been addicted so much to a game, and that already says a lot. So I like it a lot. It's definitely like one of the best games I've played in a long time. But that's not saying a lot because I didn't play so much recently. So there might have been other awesome games that I just never played. And I really like how it's essentially Zelda combined with Xeno. I have to be careful and not spoil anything, right? Terra's still here?
Yes.
Okay, I will be careful. Anyway, it's kind of like Zelda combined with Xenoblade. And since I
In
really
terms of
like
gameplay,
Xenoblade, in terms of, it's more like the world is just amazingly huge and so much fun to explore. And that's kind of like how Xenoblade feels, I think. Especially
I heard
Xenoblade
that
X.
you can. I heard that you can destroy trees.
Yes, you can destroy trees, exactly. And that's a lot
And
of...
you can use physics to fight.
Yes! Stop spoiling stuff, Anna. Anyway.
Yeah, and I wanna witness this myself.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a great game. Also, the writing, I think, is pretty good. Though the story so far is pretty standard Zelda still, I think. But anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I won't say too much about this.
I have heard that the game is sexist.
Yeah.
Someone
Which game
said
isn't?
that.
Which game isn't?
I don't
So,
know. Tetris.
I guess so, yeah. So, what should Citron say after he mentions that scorpions are amazing, that they can survive for up to 1 year? Something funny. Damn.
Firecrow actually proposed something further up.
Okay.
Do I have to read it?
Oh, yeah, I see it. I wonder how
Okay.
they got the water physics to look Earth-like. This moon seems too small for the gravity to really be this strong.
Actually,
Interesting.
not bad, I think.
Yeah, we could add this somewhere, but it's not related to scorpions.
Scorpions. Did you know that their poison is poisonous?
Yes, they are poisonous. No, I mean it's more like a follow-up when he mentions that they can live up to 1 year.
I
yeah.
see.
Writing dialogues is horrible. You can't do this live. It's one thing we learned today once again. I think it's not the first time I actually did this. I think I tried to write dialogues before now that I think about it.
I'm not sure, maybe, but
But it was more like location comments, like you walk to somewhere and then some character said something.
Scorpions. Oh, damn it. I shouldn't work out anymore. It makes me tired the entire day.
Just have to do it more often, then I get used to it, I guess, or something.
I'm already doing it often enough, for fuck's sake. It's just that whenever I do it like at the beginning of the day, it usually makes me really tired at some later point of the day.
Okay. Stream's been nice. Might hop in another time, but for now I'm a hangout with my friend and play some Nippon Ichi games. Alright, have fun.
Yay.
Bye bye. Nippon Ichi.
I forget.
Heard this one
always
before. I think that was
like
somebody mentioned this name today, and I forgot.
Disgaea.
Disgaea. You're right. That's the one. Okay.
Disgaea. Der Gaia.
Okay, that's a good one. Usually the smaller scorpions are more dangerous, and these ones don't seem to follow the rule.
That's actually really good, yeah?
That's a good one. Yeah, that's. I'm gonna make another one, like a third.
Nippon Ichi.
Duck.
Witch's Tale. Uta no Prince Summer. Is it like a visual novel? I don't know. Yeah, it is a visual novel. Okay.
A desert. I heard deserts are supposed to be very hot.
Smaller dangerous are more dangerous.
Bergen Trail sure is very snowy.
What?
Did you know you can slip on ice?
Did you know that ice melts when you melt it? Oh, wait. Oh man, the Bergen trails really consist out of Bergen. Bergs. Okay.
Of bergs.
Did you know a sandwich tastes like nothing if you make it yourself? You have to be made by a chef.
What?
You have to make it yourself with your hands. Otherwise it tastes like nothing.
If you do what?
If you make food and don't create it yourself, like with your hands, it will taste like nothing.
Gosh damn it.
It's actually the other way around.
Let's create a burger chain.
And it's called Bergen Burgers.
Bergen Burgers. and the catchphrase is, did you know ice is slippery? It's the Bergen Burgers catchphrase.
Okay, I mean these ones don't seem to follow this rule. Sounds pretty good actually.
Did you know if you approach a ledge and run towards it, you automatically jump over it?
Yeah, that would be great if Citron gives you tutorial messages that of the things that you like know for like 10 hours maybe.
Leah just reacting that way, yeah.
Like, I'm just imagining another party member at some point who has the nickname Captain Obvious. And he's like, oh Leah, you're almost dead. Open your quick menu. You can heal yourself with sandwiches there.
Your health is low. Don't you have anything to eat?
Leia, look, it's a switch. You have to throw your balls at it.
This must be the most fun party member. Gosh damn it.
Also, it wouldn't even be that far off because I mean he would be a player in lore, so it would be like a really smart-ass, annoying player.
Actually, yeah.
You're getting inspired, eh?
I want to say something, but I can't say that.
Okay.
I have to say
Yeah,
it
right.
later. But yeah. Citron is Captain Obvious, confirmed. Well, no, not exactly. I think it makes better to do this with another character.
Okay, yeah, true. Oh yeah, right. It would make a lot of sense with another character as I think about it. Okay.
Oh, we will see.
Leia, to win this fight, make the monsters die before you. Leia, that's an enemy. If you attack it, you will go into combat mode. Mega Man, it's a you can jump by pressing the A button. Yay, Terranigma. The first Terranigma today.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Oh look, there's a great question. Hi, I'm probably not the first one to ask such a question, but nevertheless, are you planning a co-op mode in the game? Just say yes or no.
No.
It's really
You
hard.
just say just yes or no.
No.
So
Yeah, we'll
say
just say
no.
no for now.
if
not planning.
just tell me if you want to have a more detailed answer about that.
And
Citron.
we say
No.
it's a
Yeah,
long answer.
exactly.
Did you know Bergen is base German for mountains? Yes. I guess Citron could say something like, yes, did you know that Bergen is actually an ancient word for like big mountains?
Yeah.
But it wouldn't work as well in German, I think.
Yeah,
Like in the
German we had to
localization.
translate this as something else. Did you know?
I mean,
Wusstest du, dass Bergen für Berge steht?
yeah. Did you know? Did you know that Bergen is called wusstest du, dass Bergen heißt, weil der Map-Designer deutsch war?
Yes.
Nailed it.
Yes, perfect.
Leah, have you ever wondered what? Wait a second.
When you had like a berserker mode, just say yes or yes.
Oh,
What?
you mean like in Valkyrie Profiles in Maria?
They have the berserk mode?
Yeah, it was like when you sometimes when you broke body parts, you could use.
Oh, that
use
one.
Yeah. It was called Berserker modus in
Oh.
German. But in English it's called break mode, I think. Leia, you're just talked to right now by me. Thanks, Goat Mom. Can we start the game as a pentafist? Just say yes. No.
No.
Leah, look, I'm talking to you. Now you have several options to how to respond to me. Choose wisely.
Leia, you have to breathe. You're a living bean.
Gosh damn it. Okay, I'm gonna do the Sharkster now. Send Shark.
Yeah, save that for the Emily DLC.
Exactly.
Leia, did you know that we are standing... I mean, Citron could kind of say stuff like when you fall in the... Like when he dies from falling in the water, he could say something like, Leia, did you know that water...
Yeah.
Did you know that water has 3 states and this is the most deadly one?
Yes.
Actually, I'm gonna write this right now. This is good. Because this only happens in weird situations anyways.
Yes.
Dice, okay.
I like the idea of having him stupid
Okay.
comments like that, but with a twist.
Yeah.
Okay, are we still with the Scorpions? Yes, Helio. Water has 4 states. The 4th state is the time.
And time stands still.
Time stands still. Yes.
This is the most.
Felix, are we still searching for scorpion things?
No, I'm just now writing. If you know something interesting about bone sharks diving through sand, then please tell me. Like,
Leia,
You
did
can-
you know
did you know that
the best ice
bone
cream
sharks
comes from a
diving
country
through
called
sand
Italy?
don't exist?
Actually, Kabuki image that already exists. Like he said, no wait, seriously, is there gonna be a mode whenever Leia is around 10 or 20% health, then she will be able to use like Break, Berserk, Limit mode, increasing speed and strength. Actually, there already is a Berserker skill,
Mm-hmm.
a passive skill that increases your attack power if your health is low.
Yeah, it's actually already starting with 33% of health
Yeah.
right now.
Like whenever your screen gets red,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
And this is the only deadly one. Okay. Actually, the only downside is that this message might appear also when there's no water, actually. So, I guess I will just leave it in there. Maybe we can use it somewhere else, I have to see. Yeah, gonna write something about sand sharks. Like the thing that don't even have proper bones.
Yeah, or like, did you know that sharks would actually not be able to survive in sand?
Come on.
Did you know people used to ride dolphins?
They did?
No.
Oh.
But I was thinking of a game where they ride dolphins.
What? Who rides
Wasn't it more
dolphins?
like, I know a game where sharks are riding sharks and shooting lasers at you? Somebody
Wait,
remembers
what?
this game?
No, actually not.
Evoland?
Oh yeah, right.
No, not Evoland,
man.
Evo. It was Evo.
Evo for the
This is
Super
Super
Nintendo.
Nintendo, yeah.
Evo.
Yeah, Evo, not Evoland. Evo,
Bugs in
that's
the
just
game.
like, yeah. Some kind of ending in the game you seriously had sharks riding sharks shooting lasers at you. That was incredible. Of course, underwater, everything. Why not? I mean,
Well, I mean, it was like really one of those really ambitious games if you think about it. Like having like all those different ways your game
wow,
character
wait,
could
one sec.
evolve. It was really interesting.
Popsicle Pete says, earlier this month there was a controversy regarding Star Maze's music. Heard about it?
Here's a blog explaining the Star Maze. I haven't heard about it, to be honest.
Me neither.
I mean, I am in the Discord, but I'm rarely reading it, to be honest, because I have so many Discords at this point. What if it's an album that was taken down from Bandcamp because of false copyright of email codes? It was already going to be the music was already going to be for a video game called DSP. Yeah, the never gave me a contract for the. Oh, really? That's okay. That's interesting. Well, I mean, I mean, if he says so, I mean, I haven't talked to Don about it. I don't plan to. But I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna refund my Star Mazer DSP. Mainly because I got it for free because I'm a beta tester. Yeah, I mean doesn't sound really good. I mean, I haven't read anything about that. So, I mean, I'm not saying it isn't true. It might be, but I mean, it's not for us to judge. I mean,
they hired so many musicians for Star Mazer. It's
really weird.
Were they really going to not pay any one of them?
oh man.
I mean, that would be weird, right?
That's really criminal.
I mean, if it's true, then it is definitely not okay. I mean,
Yeah, that doesn't sound really good.
yeah, but
Please.
I mean, as I said, I mean, I don't want to judge them now from just some blog posts that I haven't, and I haven't talked to them in a while. So I mean,
Shards technically aren't able to fly. Yeah, it's okay.
By the way,
Yeah,
I
I
put
mean,
the entire
we-
Star Ocean soundtrack in the playlist because I wanted to listen to it again. It's pretty good.
isn't there already a Star Maker soundtrack on the?
I mean, Star Ocean.
I mean, Star Ocean. That's what I meant. Oh yeah, right. I still haven't put Star Ocean soundtracks in this playlist, but I will do that at some point. Oh yeah, right. I mean, we still have that Star Maker cameo at some point. I mean, the chart set already exists and the face set. So.
Yes. They do not have bones, they have cartilage, like fish. Exactly.
I mean, but it's really weird to have like a false copyright claim on the original author of the music.
I mean, he can't sell his music. This music isn't going to be used in any games.
Yeah, it's really. It's really shitty if that happens to you. I mean, holy crap.
I mean, like images software, what they're called again, don't really have softwares. I mean, don't really have legal licenses if they didn't make any agreements or
yeah, of
contract.
Course. I mean, did you read the update part below? They have removed the music and replaced it, which is a real shame because the music was really awesome in that game. Also, that game is currently taken offline by Valve because Imago Softwork is still using my sound effects. Oh man.
Okay.
Man, oh man.
Jesus.
Star Ocean is similar like Velcar Profile, no? It's by the same company. It's
by the same company, yeah.
And there's a lot of similarities, but it's also pretty different games overall, I think.
Yeah. Bye, Ori. Thanks for being here.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Yeah, I mean, Star Ocean definitely had some great music. I mean, it's Sakuraba.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's around the time where Sakuraba did the best. Was in his best shape, I think. Like Star Ocean 2, 3, and Velcar Profile.
Well, I mean, Infinite Undiscovery and Eternal Sonata also had great music.
Maybe. I actually didn't listen to much Eternal Sonata and Infinite Undiscovery that much.
I mean, I did show you a few and you liked them, I think.
I guess, yeah. It's just that I don't like the style he had with Velcar Profile 2, I wasn't that much of a fan of anymore.
Celio, there is not directly a portray of the main character, there's rather a portray of the female lead of the game. Like the bunny girl. Oh yeah, that... Okay, you were sarcastic, I see.
Okay, yeah.
Because Celio once made this...
Yeah.
brick crashed again.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Wait a second. Did I actually... When did that actually happen? I mean, it's always a bit annoying when you have like a block and you don't have a date on your posts. Like,
that's usually something nice to have, yeah.
I mean, when did it happen? And
you can always check Twitter. Alex.
Yes, but I don't want to. I don't have his account. What is his Twitter account? I don't know. This is a really terrible homepage.
Look him up.
I don't want... Okay, I will do, but it takes time. Oh, Mero, you're so cute. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I have like 2 people that this might apply to. No, it's not. Taro, that's not helping.
What?
Music.
What?
Oh, and he even has like a super cool portray and stuff in the Star Mazer style. It's really. That would be really. Okay, I can't find anything about him, like in terms of like Twitter account or
I'm
whatever.
pretty sure he used to have a Twitter account.
Yeah, but I can't find it, so I guess he doesn't exist. Okay, he has Facebook. Okay, he has Facebook apparently, but it might be someone completely different. Okay, for fuck's sake. Are we listening to the complete music now? Soundtrack now?
Why not?
I was Italian all along. I bought a lava yacht. Screw the cows. Oh man, those memes.
Those spiders. I bought the lava yacht. What? I was Italian.
I mean, there was also another thing going down with Star Mazer right after they get Kickstarter. It was when their main their lead artist was was dropped from the project because of differences.
Okay, but that was like a while ago, right? Like after
right after the Kickstarter was finished.
Yeah.
When did they have the Kickstarter? Oh yeah, it was right. It was like years ago, right?
Yeah, it was years ago.
I mean, that's always like, I mean, of course, people getting removed from a project. It happens all the time, but it's like really unfortunate if it happens like right after a Kickstarter, because you basically advertise your game with the assets of that artist, most likely.
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens. I mean, that's something that you can't really put a lot of blame on people, because I mean,
the art looked really fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
they
really
put on the Kickstarter, and it was.
I only vaguely
going viral
remember
like
it,
crazy.
Yeah, I've seen that already, Celio, but I can't find any Twitter. Oh, it's at okay. Apparently, it's at Alex Moore Music, and for some reason I didn't find him. Alex Moore Music.
Alex Moore Music.
Apparently, he doesn't exist.
He used to exist.
He used to exist, but apparently he's. Oh, okay.
It was also recently too. Like, what happened to?
Yeah, he still got stuff on the 26th of February.
What should I write? Jesus, this is really difficult.
and he or she is trans, I guess. I'm not sure what's the case at this point then. But
I think
mean,
so. At least that's something I saw about his or her Twitter account back then.
Yeah, okay, but
like I think he kind of like went open with it, and then he posted a lot of stuff about it.
Okay, so no, it's she then, because it was he before, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Yeah, but the Twitter account is gone, so I don't have any idea.
Okay, I have no idea what happened there exactly.
Well,
Imago's Softworks Twitter's hasn't really written anything about this controversy. Like they're active. Like the last.
Well, I guess.
Do they actually still do streams? Are they still active doing any streams?
It might have been a while ago since they did the last stream. So,
like the latest public tweet was on November 6th last year.
I mean, they are at least still active in the Discord. So I guess they are not completely vanished from existence. So I have no idea. It's not something I want to put that many like wild guesses onto right now. It's just a really weird story to hear at this point. And I mean, Star Mazer, I mean, as I said, Star Mazer at DSP, the music was amazing. I mean, the entire game was a lot of fun.
I mean, I played it too, and the music was really incredible, so it's really a shame.
Yeah, there were lots of talents working on that game.
Yep.
I mean, I'm always super impressed on how big the team was and how many super talented people they had. Like, and also how many different side projects like Don has, for example. Like, I mean, doesn't he also make movies and stuff?
I think that's what he does as a job, essentially.
As a main job, yeah. And I mean that he has basically this one. I forgot his name again. The one from the Gamers. This one actor
like the actor. I don't know.
Yeah, the actor who basically voiced and also cosplayed Brick. Like, I mean, he was. I mean, I wouldn't say he is like super famous, but is kind of a big deal, I guess, in terms of independent movie making in that area. I mean, wait a second. The Gamers. I wouldn't even be surprised if he had a Wikipedia article. That's not what okay, the Gamers. Okay. Darkness Rising. Starring Brian Lewis. Okay. Brian Lewis, and does he have his... No, he doesn't have his Wikipedia article.
Lots of games with controversies following them. I mean, there's still this other game called the one game that they were trying to make for the Dreamcast.
You mean an indie game for the Dreamcast?
And they made lots of these vlogs, and those vlogs developed into the director of the game, like insulting their fans and such.
Really?
Okay.
Something like that.
Like in good fun, or was it like a complete ass move?
Latter, like he was a complete wreck at the end.
Okay. Yeah. Have you people ever visited NeoGeff? I heard scary things about this site. I'm not the greatest fan of it, to be honest. Even though this might piss some people off, but I mean, whatever. But I mean, it still has a certain influence, I guess. I mean, a lot of people still like to visit it.
Pretty big community, right? From what
yeah, it still is, I guess. But I mean, first off, I'm always a bit skeptical about communities that make it so difficult to make an account there. Like NeoGeff, for NeoGeff, you are not allowed to use a free email address for your account. So you basically have to use like a paid email address, or at least like I mean, in my case, I just used my university email address.
Oh, okay.
And that one worked. But I mean, I guess they are very concerned about trolls and multi accounts. But to be honest, a forum that is so scared of such a usually minor issue, to go to such lengths isn't really all that trustworthy in my. I mean, I'm not going to say not trustworthy.
Maybe not trustworthy, but maybe a bit too over paranoid.
Yeah, over paranoid, and it doesn't inspire trust to me. I would rather put it that way. I mean, I'm not active in that community, and I don't read it very often. I just
yeah, elitism is kind of like a good word.
Elitism, yeah, and like they've gone pretty far on the I don't want to use the word like what's the right word? I forgot. I don't want to use the wrong word now. Like they've gone pretty far on the let's just call it elitism side. I mean, and it's sometimes really annoying. I mean, like how they were so so happy that certain localization changes were made to games like Fire Emblem and stuff.
Okay, no, I'm just gonna write something like, gosh, these Sharkstars can be pretty tricky to hit, because I know that people think that.
I don't really worry about NeoJav hurting me. It's more about I really hate using certain strong terms that are like often used to describe like overly broad groups of people, like social justice warrior, for example. I don't really like that term. It's really, yeah. I mean, the whole tribalism thing on the internet kind of annoys me, and that's a big part of it. And yes, I know Celio, Brian Lewis. That's the guy who I meant. Like the guy who also played like a main role in the Gamer and in Journey Quest. Journey Quest? Yeah, it's Journey Quest. Also, fun fact: Journey Quest will soon release its third season, which is great because I'm really looking forward to that. Because the first and second season were really, really entertaining. NeoJav sometimes stockpiles people's in depth. Yeah, I've heard about that. That's
what does stockpile mean?
What exactly is NeoJav?
It's a forum, an online community.
Dogpiling means when you have like an online community of many people, and you basically use the masses of those community to hurt someone, like to annoy them, to hurt their sales, to
like what 4chan does too sometimes, right?
Yeah, what 4chan does sometimes, and
yeah.
I mean, many movements and communities do that sometimes, but NeoJav does that sometimes in really annoying ways, like in very, very annoying cases I've heard. But I don't want to go into like
so much politics again, man.
Yeah, I mean,
today. Yeah, it's like nothing interesting is going on in the stream. Obviously, I kind of wonder what. It's just like really was a bad idea to write dialogues. But to be honest, it's kind of like difficult right now to come up with topics that I can work on that don't spoil too much. It's not that easy. I could have worked on a new enemy today, but that would have been a huge spoiler.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's my point, Necroman. I mean, I didn't really dislike the term in the beginning because it really described certain people in a very fitting and ironic way. But just as many terms, it started to get used for basically everything, and then it became a bit annoying. Yeah, that's basically the whole greater good thing. It's really annoying when people think that they have to fight for good morals in video games. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it depends what you see as good morals. I mean, I'm not against like boycotting and pissing on games like what was it called again? Rampage?
What was Rampage?
How was it called again? This one game
this road trip game, or what was it?
It was really a road trip. It was basically like you play as this really edgy, emo, edgelord, dark murder dude who just randomly kills people.
Okay.
I mean, that game was. I mean, then again, it wasn't really worth anyone's attention, to be honest. But yeah, video games are about killing and stealing in many ways. That's true, but it's the context, you know.
Video games are about killing and stealing. Let's just admit it. Not all of them.
It was hatred. Yeah, hatred. Right, hatred. I mean, I didn't really care about that game much. I mean, it was a game and it existed, and it didn't deserve the attention that it got. But I mean, whatever, man.
Well, the thing is, I mean, to some extent, there will always be this kind of violent themes in video games because they have been around before video games, and it's kind of like it's not something you will get rid of anytime soon because people are entertained by that because to some extent I think it's our nature. It's kind of like you have this kind of like it's just enjoyment for us if you do that, for which is not something which just comes from a culture. I think there's something more behind it.
Yeah, of course.
So that's kind of like the things you can't really get rid of it, but I don't know, it's like for instance, like something I personally don't understand is why do you have like this brutally realistic violence all the time. It's like I'm just not a fan of that, and
Me neither.
I don't.
It annoys me.
It's not like I really that I can't stand it. I mean, I played some pretty violent games here and there, but I just don't see the need to have this ultra realistic violence.
First of that, and also
but it sells, I guess. So
I think, to me personally, it doesn't really have that much impact.
Yeah.
If it's so super violent, it just annoys me and gets on my nerves.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it becomes comical. Like
yes, to be like one example is actually Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones I really like the book Song of Ice and Fire, and the TV show, at least I only watched the first few seasons, is pretty good, but the way they depict violence was sometimes too much for me. It was kind of like it looked like over proportionally violent as sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
They just focused that scene so it looks really look at
also,
you see all the guts and all the details and saying great.
Also,
I guess people like to watch this.
Also, Game of Thrones was really funny at sometimes because it completely threw realism out of the window for that purpose. Because
yeah,
you know, like armor was really effective and important during medieval times, right? And George R. R. Martin, the author of the books, was also, of course, it's still fictional books, but he usually was very. It was really important to him that armor was portrayed as important, but in the show it was like armor was so useless in most cases.
Okay.
Like some people just use like it's strong people, but still they use like their sword and just cut a guy straight in half. Like
jeez,
even if he didn't have armor, like cutting the spine in half with a sword.
Yeah.
When he's standing, it's almost impossible. He would, even if you cut really, really strongly, he would rather like get knocked to the side when you hit the spine. But no, he gets like cut straight in half, and it's like that isn't really all that impressive. It's more like, wow, that's silly. It's like your typical movie violence, splatter violence.
Yeah. Also, Go gives you a dopamine rush. I guess it does for some people. I know.
The sound of gore can be really satisfying, to be honest. If you have a really good hit sound, like for example.
Actually, I'm not even sure I agree, because I know these kind of hit sounds because at some point I considered using that for my own games. But I never was
on the context, I guess.
I guess this is pretty much something what you're used to, what you kind of experienced and what you liked, because I was always kind of like a fan of the way violence was depicted in Japanese games, like fantasy games, JRPGs, this kind of stuff. And a hit sound I really like is the one from the Star Ocean series, which isn't really realistic gore sound. It kind of reminds you of it, I think. But obviously you don't see gore in Star Ocean or very high profile, but I really like those sound effects, and you have all these kind of flashy abstract effects, and I'm a huge fan of that, and that's kind of like something I really like to watch, and what really which I guess gives me a dopamine rush or something.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. I think people are different in that regard.
It's an acquired taste.
Maybe it is.
I guess it's kind of like just what people are used to, and it's and the thing is, like, what people are used to, I kind of like stick with it, and that's also why we'll never get rid of these violent video games. And that's also don't. There is no scientific evidence that they make you violent anyway, so that's the whole thing.
Talking about Japanese gore, I'm up to date with Vinland Saga. God, it's a good manga. Yes, it is. It's
It
really
is.
good.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorites next to
Yeah.
Berserk.
Vinland Saga is amazing. And I still have to watch a few recent chapters.
That's really funny, right? We just talked that I'm not really big into gore, but my favorite mangas are Vinland Saga and Berserk.
Damn it. But not because of the gore, to be honest. At least for me.
Yeah, it's for me it's also not the gore, but I mean it's kind of in those mangas it kind of works and it's kind of to be expected. Yeah, the farming saga in Vinland Saga is really good.
Hmm.
Like the whole farming arc.
The farming arc is the best arc, yes. Jesus, I'm just thinking we should just start with the drawing because I'm not gonna do anything here. Kinda...
Yeah, I mean we shouldn't do that long today. I'm really not.
Yeah.
Any ideas, or are we stepping into spoiler territory?
It's more like I'm lacking ideas. It's really difficult. It's just really difficult to actually... The only way I could make it work is I just try to just ignore any kind of conversation. And then you have to make sure to talk about with the people, and I just try to focus and come up with something. But it's really difficult because you get so easily distracted when people are talking.
Yeah.
It's really something you can't do.
That's why I can never
stream.
walk during stream.
Yeah. I mean, something you can do is mapping on graphics. I could do some expressions. But I wouldn't even know which expressions I would need right now, at least for Citron. Yeah, anyway, let's just decide for a drawing and then let's do that and call it a day.
Okay, I'm just gonna post the stream. I mean, it already is 10.
Yeah.
About mangas, have you read one of Junji Ito's mangas? Junji Ito is one of those super popular horror mangakas, from what I know. He's
Ito?
also he also made Uzumaki, I think. You know, the ones that we saw the movie of at some point.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Which one?
Uzumaki.
Uzumaki. Oh yes, I remember.
The one with the spirals and stuff.
Which is.
I mean, I haven't read any myself. I mean, I have. They have been covered by the weekly manga recap podcast, a really good manga podcast that is weekly that I watch every week, which is really amazing, and you should watch it or listen to it if you're into manga.
Stop the advertisement now.
It's really good. It's really funny, and they really.
God damn it, Hannah.
They're really chill. They're really cool dudes.
Yes, we get it, Hannah.
And they talked about some. And some sounded kind of interesting, but I'm not a big fan of horror in general, especially. And I'm especially not a big fan of horror mangas, so I haven't really had much of an interest. But I'm really planning to at some point finally read all the Urasawa mangas. Like how's his full name again? I completely forgot it. Again. What the fuck? What's his name? Oh, for fuck's sake! Monster.
What was the name of that manga podcast again?
It was weekly manga recap. It's really
just
easy
write
to...
the link in the chat already. God damn it.
Yeah. Wait a second. I can give you the YouTube link. It's like the most YouTube. I think they even have a real YouTube link at this point. Wait a second.
Kovap91 says, but you can have ideas from community real time. Yeah, that's true. But the thing is that
no, they don't.
It's really it's not working all that well to write down the text. They are just really bad at doing that when there is a live audience.
They're also still part of Channel Awesome, but I mean that's not their main
also,
thing.
Can you post a link to the drawing suggestions maybe? So we can
I just wanted to do that, but then I got distracted by more
talking
important
about
the mangaka that I was talking about. Right, Naoki Urasawa. Right, that's the one. He's the one who made. What? What's going on again?
It's just random stuff that's posted on our Discord. I love the internet. Dragon Ball movie Goku cosplay costume.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
Seems legit.
Off topic?
That seems very legit.
Yeah, and the off topic. I don't know.
Okay,
Different
let me
stuff.
just post the drawing. Oops. Only 1K subscribers. How do you even find these channels? Actually, the YouTube channel, the YouTube channel is not that old, but they have been active on That Guy with the Glasses and Twitch and Hitbox for like 5 years now, and they are pretty popular. I mean, they have a Patreon account and they get like I mean, I'm not sure if they get that
Post the link,
much.
Hannah.
Yes, sorry. I had to defend the honor of my favorite podcast. Drawing suggestions. Suggest stuff. Oh, look, it's Featherbomb music.
It is, yeah.
It's quiet.
Guy with glasses. That can be only true MG. What? No.
No, it's not.
Why would he be the only guy with glasses?
Yes.
Pepsilia.
Why did you put it to 30? That's way too much.
Gates of Babylons. Nah.
Gates of
I fight
Babylons,
for
yeah.
my
Dust Force Lair. Actually, somebody had amazing idea recently, but I forgot it about again. Let me see if it. All right,
I
yes.
must somehow make sense of our convoluted situations.
Somebody had this idea that we should draw Shizuka Leabouf. You know, Shizuka Leabouf.
What?
You know, Shia LaBeouf, or what was
Oh,
his name
Shia
again?
LaBeouf, yeah.
Shia LaBeouf, yeah. Like Shia LaBeouf, now you make Shizuka Leabouf. You know?
What do you mean, like just do it, or what? I mean, I
Yeah, like the
don't...
just do it pose.
Okay, I see.
And also, like, there was this idea to draw this combined with a go to sleep thing. Just go to sleep, you know?
Oh yeah. That's actually a good idea. I think I will definitely put this in the straw poll.
Yeah.
How about I do
Anyway.
Yeah.
What's the oldest sound in... Oh,
Can Shizuka be chasing a bunch of frogs that stole her flag?
What?
Why?
Oh no, not that one.
What?
Oh no.
I'm also tired today. And now some
Okay.
music. Gosh damn it, those spiders.
Shizuka telling you guys to go to sleep. That's actually...
Yeah. I actually really want to draw this one because I really like that style.
What is this?
Better luck next time.
This was
It's-
made recently?
No, that's
Yeah,
actually...
well.
I think I changed the name, that's why.
Ah, okay.
Gates of Babylon... was there any... Oh, just gonna remove... no.
Raise
Oh, there's two
your
good mornings.
flag.
Hold on.
It's a dead flag. What? What the heck is this? I don't-
Good morning.
Oh no.
Who edited this? What is this?
I think I made these. It's actually text to
Good
speech.
morning.
Where is this from?
There's actually a text to speech somewhere on the internet.
Oh! I think I know the one. Somebody linked that to me once.
The one with the guy who talks like this. What the heck is this?
Felix, what was the idea that you wanted to have?
Heavy machine gun.
So what?
What was the idea that you wanted to have? Oh yeah,
Shizuka telling everyone to go to sleep. It's here. So
okay.
But no heavy machine gun?
We also have like, oh yeah, right. We have the CrossCode X windjammers, but that's something that we should do in summer. But then again,
that's true. Yeah.
It's already becoming pretty warm. Like the last days, so really, really
I
warm.
want to do the go to sleep thing.
Okay, I'm just gonna make another one. Leia has a horrible lag. Okay, it's stupid, but I'm just gonna put it in here. Okay, I have Shizuka telling you guys to sleep, Gates of Babylon, Dust Force Leia, CrossCode Road Trip, and Leia has horrible lag. Okay, that's enough.
What does this mean, Leia has a horrible lag?
I have no idea. It's in the suggestions. I'm gonna add it.
God damn it! Then it is quoted and I have no idea what to do with this. Then she still just says go to sleep.
Well, you can always...
You'll get no sympathy from me.
Official drawing for...
We need better sounds.
Yeah, we need more sounds. We don't have enough of them.
What a story, Mark.
Yeah. Woohoo, it's a poll, guys. Vote now. Vote. Vote for... Yes.
Raise your flag, Gundam.
I'm gonna vote myself now, because
It is
I
a
really
dead
want to
flag.
vote this go to sleep thing.
Gundam
Yes.
is sadness. Yes, that's true, Felix. Next week we definitely have to have a Gundam drawing.
I guess so, when the anime is
Man, am I
anime is
good or
over.
am I good? Or am I good? Or am I...
No.
Sorry.
Yes! Shizuka! Go to sleep! Go to sleep! Go to sleep. Maybe I'm just tired.
Here comes the fanfare.
Yay!
Did we have the boss theme yet? I don't think so, right?
Not yet, I think.
The amazing boss theme.
I like the boss theme too.
Yeah. Yay! We are all going to sleep. Okay, I'm gonna... Yeah, I will just draw the go to sleep thing now. Okay. Go to sleep. Where's the image? No, that's okay. Kaga posting was it, I think. That's the one. It's time to sleep.
And Shizuka, you have to draw, like, since no one...
I really like this version where there's so many about sleeping and stuff, and there's this one version which just says "fuck off." I like this one.
Maybe draw Shizuka in the most inappropriate pose, like a T pose or something, while she says "go to sleep." So it doesn't make any
T-pose?
sense. You know, T pose, like in 3D modeling.
Oh. Yeah, actually I wanted to make her like the Shia LaBeouf pose, which is like this.
Oh.
I'm gonna try this at least. So we really have Shizuka Leabouf saying go to sleep. I will try that. So, jeez.
Family-friendly stream.
Hmm?
Oh no, it's my sticker package. My Telegram sticker package.
Yeah, that's how I saw it. It's because of you, and I saw the sticker page. I like those stickers a lot, and then I kind of like looked it up, and I found out that it's how it's called and stuff. And now I'm drawing this on the stream.
I'm getting tired too now.
Please don't go to sleep yet. You can do that when the image is drawn. Wait,
So Felix, I think it's anime talking time.
I guess it is.
Hold on a
I've
second,
heard that
let's do a
you've.
quick.
Okay, so we can talk about Zelda now.
Woohoo! What? Okay. You heard that
that you watched a really great series.
about robots?
That too.
Or the one about this totally innocent generic high school anime.
This totally generic, innocent high school anime about true love and stuff.
And true love and people being so shy and not
People
getting
being
things
shy
done.
and people being shy and really
Doki Doki
sweet,
and
sweet and honest to each other and not
sweet and innocent.
like manipulative.
Yeah, nothing ever happens in this show. So
I'm back. Stop talking about Zelda.
okay, it's
Oh, yeah.
okay. We talked about the most innocent high school anime instead.
You mean Keijo?
Yeah.
Kinda.
No,
No.
less hits.
Obviously,
Well,
Keijo is a sports anime, so
then again, that series has more sex than Keijo.
yeah, it does, yeah. It does indeed.
Spooky.
Go to
Do you
bed!
guys know Sun Can Rock, the best mafia manga ever? Okay,
I've
there's
heard
a kappa
about it,
behind that. I wouldn't trust the statement.
I've surprise weekly manga recap covered that at some point.
Unbelievable, Hannah! Tell
I
us
think-
more!
Well, I mean, they had like 5 years. 5 years of podcast and a podcast each week, so they have like, yeah, it's a lot of episodes, so they've covered a lot of manga, and I don't remember how it was. I think it was okay,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't read it.
Gonna open the
Have you
Shizuka
heard this
reference.
one? I just recorded this because we need it.
Go to bed!
Nice.
Where is this from?
It's some wrestler shouts it.
Go to bed, okay. Just gonna quickly copy that. Jeez. The stream really hasn't been so productive. Writing dialogues is difficult. Maybe I should just declare the next stream a spoiler stream and so we have less viewers, but at least we get some stuff done.
Oh yeah, I've heard about Dr. Stone. It's apparently really good. I mean, also Dr. Stone has like one of the first manga appearances of Donald Trump as a president,
Okay.
or maybe like the first, and he dies. But
Nope.
it's not. Before you cheers too loudly, it's not really that big of a deal because everyone dies. Basically, it's basically like a story about the entire humanity getting turned to stone, and like a lot of them also getting destroyed, and only like a few main characters, like the 2 main characters or something, wake up from the stone curse thingy, like thousands of years later, and now it's basically a survival series, I guess.
Hmm.
Has Hannah tried to make pixel art? I wouldn't call it art. I mean, I have done a bit of spriting,
Hmm, you did.
and I would say it wasn't even that bad, but I really suck with colors. That's my big weak point. I just don't have any feel for colors. I mean, I can do some decent sprites in black and white, or 4 colors, but like, give me an unlimited range of colors, and I will almost certainly mess it up. But
Yeah.
I mean, I do some edits for CrossCode at least, like for char sets and tile sets and stuff, and enemies. Yeah, it's not a spoiler that Donald Trump dies in that series, because. And I mean, his monologue is basically the most generic American president monologue that you could have. So it's not really a big deal. It's just the entire humanity dies, so the president also dies, and the president is happens to be Trump. I can guarantee you that if Hillary was president, the panel would look almost exactly the same, just with different hair, apparently, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a terrorist thing? I mean, Donald Trump would think entirely different in that situation. I'm sure. I mean, I'm not sure how, but like, did you see the manga panel?
No, where is it?
It's in the chat. It's like Celio posted it, I think. Yeah, Celio posted it.
Oh.
It's like a jump start in the current Shonen Shonen Jump lineup, and it's apparently really, really good. It has like
Okay.
a really nice concept to it. Oh yeah, right. This Taro, this Flintstone comic, which is apparently really good from what I've heard. I mean, I've seen like a few panels and pages from the thing about like homosexuality, of all things. I mean, it was really compelling the way they presented it. Like
What
usually,
kind of manga? What
it's not a manga. It's like, I mean, you would think it's like the biggest nonsense, like a more realistic Flintstones comic.
Okay.
Like with more realistic art style and like more serious themes and stuff like that. But it's apparently really well written, from what I've heard.
Interesting.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's true. I am pretending to. I'm not gonna pretend that I know how he thinks, but like I'm pretty sure that he would think something more, let's say, interesting than. Is this a terrorist attack? No. I don't know. It's like super generic, like this text bubble. It's like really like what would like your typical American president think of the situation?
What is even happening there? I don't even know the context.
It's like it's just the entire humanity turns to stone out of nowhere,
including
like everyone.
himself.
Yeah, including the president, of course. Like,
okay.
I mean, the president is not an important character in the series. It's just like some symbol, I guess, to show that everyone gets turned to stone, even the most
From
powerful
when is
people.
it actually again?
It's entirely new. It started like
Oh, okay.
4 or 5 weeks ago or something.
Mm.
And it's a new Shonen Jump manga. It's like one of the jump starts, and I'm pretty hopeful that it will be one of the few that actually sticks, because it has two rather well-known mangakas to it, and it has a really interesting concept. Mangakas, manga peoples.
Mangaka.
Yep.
There's no plural in Japanese and stuff.
I know.
Whatever.
Japanese people only know the one. And the one is all.
That's why there's no teamwork.
Yes, there's no teamwork in Japan. There's no
the
corporate
opposite.
culture. Japanese people are so individualistic. Like when you're in a company in Japan, it's all about you. There's no, they leave you all the freedom because it's all about you.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly how. What?
Ari Fureta Shogokyo de Sekai Sakyo It's a very good manga. I would recommend to read it. I haven't heard about it, but I might give it a look. Sakyu. I can't speak Japanese. I mean, I will mispronounce everything.
Mm.
Then again, I can almost guarantee you that I will not read it because I have very little time and a backlog for everything. And also, the synopsis for the series starts with 17-year-old Hajime Nagumo is your average, everyday otaku. However, okay, done. I'm not reading it.
Is every show with an otaku?
And in the second sentence, there is the sentence, is summoned to a fantasy world.
Oh boy.
like 100 other
ReZero. Yeah, ReZero or Konosuba
No, I mean,
or whatever.
it might still be a really good series. You never know, but it's just that.
Yeah.
I
so
already
creative
have
with their
such a.
premises.
I mean, this Felix, you still have to read the Spider manga. It's really damn amazing.
Yes, I know.
And it's not even that long so far. It's like.
That's right. But I'd rather watch this one high school anime first.
Yeah.
Because that's more short, right?
At least Japanese games are good. I mean, that's also kind of a cliche. I mean, the Japanese games also have quite a few bad acts to them. Like, look at all those Sonic games.
You know what a certain indie developer said like a couple years ago about Japanese games? Man,
what was it?
That's something I actually just realized again recently, where Phil Fish essentially in this interview just said somebody from Japan attended a panel and asked Phil Fish what he thinks about Japanese video game industry, and he said, "Your game sucks," just like this, and that's essentially
well,
it.
It's Phil Fish. I mean, what do you?
And at this time, and the funny thing is, there was the what was the creator of Braid again? Jonathan something.
Jonathan Blow.
Jonathan Blow, essentially.
His name is the best.
He agreed. He agreed to that. He said, "Yeah, like Japanese games are not really all that great.
Yeah, they are the same
the new ones." So I think it was maybe at around the time where the Japanese video game market wasn't probably not faring all that well. I think maybe.
It might be, yeah.
But I think it was around the time when Skyward Sword was released.
Yeah, okay.
Which wasn't received all that well, really, for a Zelda game, I think. Overall. But
yeah, but still, I mean, Phil Fish is Phil Fish, and Jonathan Blow is also not always to be taken.
I know.
That seriously, I think they're kind of like kindred spirits, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
Just that Phil Fish is a bit more famous.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I would agree that Japanese games aren't. They have the same. I mean, you have tons of lackluster Japanese games as well. I mean, it's not like Japanese games tend to be that much better than Western ones.
I need
nowadays,
to do it, Pose. What are you? What is this? Gee, that's not Shia LaBeouf.
And also, I mean, I often I still very much think that.
Oh, that's how the post goes.
That a lot of JRPGs, like the ones that are made in Japan, have like really weird game design concepts, like in terms of gameplay, balancing stuff, and like their priorities are sometimes really weird.
Okay. Yeah, possible. Gee, I got the post entirely wrong. That's why you don't draw without references, guys. It's always important to take your reference. Because in your head, everything is always wrong.
I think I almost exclusively grew up with Japanese games. Think about it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
I mostly play
that's from
Japanese games.
Is that from Dr. Stone or is it from Arifutera Shokyo Lord something? I enjoyed Skyward Sword. It was actually a good game. The lack of freedom and the linearity were a problem.
The thing, I played Skyward Sword shortly after I played Xenoblade, and I was so amazed about Xenoblade that, because it had this really, at this time that was a really like a true open world game. Not as true as Xenoblade X, but it was pretty close to a nice open world game back on the V, and that was pretty incredible. And it had like all the nice stuff of JRPGs done in a good way, so I was really hyped about this game. And with this kind of experience, I started Skyward Sword, and I was just really disappointed how Skyward Sword had a very weak exploration aspect, like really, really weak. In Twilight Princess, you had to some extent the feeling that you were walking around in a world where you can move around somewhat free. It wasn't actually all that free, but there was at least like this one area where you could ride your horse, so you had a lot of space to move around, and that felt pretty nice. And it also had this kind of plot that was really dramatic that kind of helped, I think. So I like this game a lot. And Skyward Sword, I didn't play it fully, that's why I can't really make a good judgment, but the way it started, you were on this island, and this island was pretty small, and that was like the only settlement you had. You only had this one island in the sky, this one village. And then you fall down, you were falling down on the ground, and you were thinking, oh, now you have a big world on the ground that you could explore. But the world really felt like one very short, concise level after the other. I felt like playing a Super Mario game. That's how it felt to me. It's like you had like one stage with a set of puzzles, then to the next another stage with a set of puzzles. And I actually read about it, and that's essentially how they intended to design it. They kind of intended to design that there's always puzzles wherever you go. But it's kind of like you're playing CrossCode and everything would be a dungeon. That's kind of like how it compares. Not just as bad, because I mean the puzzles are not all that complicated. It's more like a lot about navigating around, so it's not as bad as just having a dungeon. But it's it kind of felt a little bit like this. It was kind of tiring, and I was somewhat disappointed by that. And then I just lost interest in the game, and I never finished it. So that's why I was kind of disappointed with that game personally. But I never finished it, so maybe I really should try to finish it sometime.
Yes, but first you should finish the Spider manga, and Bastion, and Transistor.
Maybe CrossCode too.
Yeah, the Spider-Man, gar. I mean, there was also a Spider-Man manga, but that one is apparently really terrible.
Oh, is it?
Is it? Yeah, it was covered by Weekly Manga Recap. And it's apparently it really is one of their most hated manga of all time, because Spider-Man was an asshole in that. It had like one of those. It had like the most memorable Spider-Man quote, like a quote that you would instantly associate with Spider-Man. What was it again? People like you deserve to die. People like you should suffer and then just die. And that was Spider-Man saying that to someone.
Great.
Wait a second, what was the quote again? Anyway, Spider-Man was also really, really proud of himself in that manga because he wasn't raping people. It was a really weird. It was a really weird.
Spider-Man.
No, seriously, it was. He thought to himself, well, my thoughts about what was it again? He thought about like. I mean, of course, it was a manga. It was like an alternative Spider-Man. It was like a Spider-Man who was like had a different name, who lived in Japan and stuff like that. And he was like a really big asshole and not all that heroic. And he had a motorbike.
Oh, very important.
Yeah, that's very important. But it's like, what was it again?
By the way, did we have the bus theme yet? I don't think so, right?
I think so. I think it came pretty early.
Dang it.
Maybe the music was so quiet we didn't even notice it.
Yeah, definitely. I think
that song is pretty nice too, by the way. Yeah.
It is really nice, yeah. I think, right, Spider-Man had like this one girlfriend who had to work as a stripper or something. And yeah, that happened. And he was like thinking about like doing it with her, and he was really doubting himself, really unsure of himself if he's still a good person. And then a few pages later, he was like, "No, humans are like that. They are like animals trying to assault assault
Yes,
women
spoiler.
and stuff like that. And I'm not and I am thinking it, but I'm not doing it. So I'm a good person. Or something. I mean, like it didn't, not literally, but it's like the way he said it. It sounded like that. And it was a really weird series, and it was a really weird Spider-Man. So
Okay.
The boss theme was right at the beginning, actually.
yeah, I think it was really, really in the beginning. CrossCode had World War II ships, but Short Girl 96 is still better. Yeah, true. Yeah, right. It's the original sticker pack is basically from Kantai collection.
Yeah, exactly.
And so Shizuka is a. God damn it.
I guess so, no?
That's
Yeah.
a really weird crossover. Like CrossCode X Shia LaBeouf posts, X Kantai.
It's Shizuka Leabouf. Shizuka Leabouf. Get it?
Yeah, she's really buff.
And
One of your
Leabouf. Lea.
Oh, a wisdom tooth. I guess you should get it out at some point, because those can really get on your nerves at some point.
Oh yeah.
Because they can make your teeth, like, they can push your teeth in really impractical positions if you let them in. I heard CrossCode has an anime opening from Akino, which sings the Kankole opening. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Legit.
By the way, I'm super excited for the Indivisible opening, because Studio Trigger, Titmouse, especially Titmouse.
Why?
I guess they mean
What
the
is
bird.
his name?
I guess they mean the bird. The bird.
There's a bird like this?
Yeah, Spatz. Spatz is tit.
Was it Spatz?
It is Spatz, I think. No, it's Meise.
Meise.
Oh,
Meise.
it's called tit.
It's called tit. Yeah.
That's
That's really
interesting.
funny because if you ask for tits, you get a bird, and if you ask for boobies, I think boobies is also something for.
Maybe that's where booby trap comes from.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope so.
Like, wait, what is? There is like a word for booby. What is?
So I'm gonna save. Nobody reminded me.
Or was it booby? Okay, I'm pretty sure that I heard what some bird that's like booby or boobs. Maybe someone English speaking can help me.
Thank you.
Anyway, if someone asks you to show your tits, just search some birds on the internet.
That's actually a very smart reply to these kind of.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of an obvious reply, so it's not all that original. But then again, if someone just randomly asks you for your tits, then he doesn't really deserve that much originality.
Yeah.
Unless you want to make a Tumblr post later and patting on your back for being very witty and stuff.
Yes. So I hope that guy looks like a Shia LaBeouf pose somewhat.
Yeah, it's alright. It's I would say
Adequate.
Adequate.
I knew it.
Shots
yes.
pointing.
Hmm?
I think the legs need to be like you say in German, sie muss sich ein bisschen knien.
She must kneel down.
Yeah, kneel down a little bit. I mean, that's how Shia LaBeouf looks like.
Knee down,
That's
so
true.
more around the legs or what?
Yeah.
I mean, I made the legs wider, but
it's not about the legs going wide. It's more like the knees.
Okay.
Not Hooters, or maybe. I have no idea. Oh, yeah, I think it's just boobs. Now that I think about it.
Ah.
Yeah, you don't really see Shia LaBeouf's knees either, but yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like
No, it's
legs are
also not
going
boobs.
further apart than.
We are back to the boob talk, by the way.
Yeah, I know that there is something like some kind of bird that kind of sounds like. It's really.
You mean these kind of birds, right? Hold on. That's a bird, right?
Yeah,
It
it's
sounds
definitely a
kind
bird.
of like you expect it to stop, but then it still continues. It's horrible. Jesus. Is that better? I guess that looks better a bit.
Yeah, it looks better.
I think I make the whole torso a bit smaller.
Not good enough.
Shut up. Shut up, Shulk. Nobody
Maybe
cares
now
about
the-
your opinion. Hmm?
The elbows, I think.
You're an elbow.
Yeah, I could emphasize the elbows a bit more.
Can I get banned in crosswords if I say bad words like in Club Penguin? Was Club Penguin like one of those for children thingies?
Yeah. I think they're closing Club
Vaguely
Penguin now.
remember it.
Oh, I think they're closing Club Penguin now. Like,
Oh no, because of pedophiles.
I don't know, but there's
What's
also
Club
this.
Penguin?
There were actually speedrunners of Club Penguin, and the speedrun was getting banned as fast as possible.
What?
I see,
Oh my God.
I see.
That's interesting, oh man. Penguin Club. Or Club Penguin. Speedruns. Oh, that's a Disney browser game. Kind of reminds me of this one Hello Kitty MMO, where you had to pet animals to level up or something.
Pet them? Pet animals? Or rather...
You have to pet animals until they're satisfied, and then you get experience. What essentially like a normal MMO where you click things to grind them. No, that's not what you do with the animals. You just pet them until they're happy, and then you get experience because you satisfied I don't know, it's kind of like defeating them, I suppose. Kinda tried to make a brown outline a bit to keep it somewhat with the original style. But for that I think I have to make the hair a bit brighter. I think I make her a little bit brighter in general. That's a good song. Song. Let's make the background brighter, because those images are supposed to work on a bright background.
Bye, Celio.
Goodbye.
Oh,
Good
Neopets,
night.
Neopets. Yeah, I remember that one.
Chicken.
What is?
That was a very big
Sounds
chicken.
kinda.
That was... You know where this song was played? I actually still remember this.
Really?
Yeah, this song was played
Chicken.
not before the chicken, but right before the final boss fight. And just, I think, in that one room. And nowhere else.
What?
The song here, right now.
Oh.
It's only played before the final boss battle, nowhere else in the whole game, I think.
I've never beaten the game, actually.
I actually managed to beat that one, I think. If I remember correctly.
I did tell you about how the emulator was playing back the battles way too fast.
Did it? Okay.
And I thought it was meant to be that way until I found out later that it's way too like it was unplayably fast, and I thought this game was meant to be hard.
You played hard mode, yeah.
I didn't even know you could pause the game and do things like in Grandia, but that's only I found out later when I used a different emulator. But then I kind of lost
Okay.
my interest.
Oh. I see.
That was a long time ago. I could actually try to pick it up again.
I mean, a game I didn't play too long ago actually was Chrono Trigger. It's also a game that I started very often, but I actually never managed to
Yeah,
to
me
finish
too.
it.
I played
too.
that game
Really?
so many times.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger took me a long time to actually beat this game, even though it's
Oh,
not even
really?
that long.
When?
But I mean, I played it several times, I think at least 2 or 3 times, and always to some point, but never finished it. And I just managed to finish it recently. Another game which took me some time to finish was actually Illusion of Gaia. That game, we actually played it until I think one of the last boss fights. But one of those last boss fights was pretty tricky, and for some reason nobody in our family managed to to finish it. And
Don't even
then
remember.
sometime later I actually played it on emulator, everything again, and then I finally did it. And then the funny thing is, then I visited home again, and we still had the cartridge in the Super Nintendo, and there was still the save state and still worked. And then I also finished it back on the original Super Nintendo. That was nice.
Nice. That's the way you have to do it.
Yes.
By the way, they are. I have a good topic, guys.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they are planning to release like the Seiken Densetsu series on the Switch.
Oh yes. Man, these artworks look so incredible good.
Yeah, the artworks look amazing, and also
Wait,
I'm
there's
really hoping that they will finally release like Seiken Densetsu 3 in the
With
West.
the translation that
Yes.
doesn't exist.
I mean, they could make one. I mean, it's
They
I mean,
yeah.
seriously.
I know. They could really, they should do it. But if they actually would do that, I don't know. They could just have take a fan translation, but probably there are a lot of reasons why the big companies can't do that. I
Or
don't
they can just translate it. I mean, they're a big company, for fuck's sake. Translating something isn't that... Okay, I mean, it is expensive, but
know.
still.
It is somewhat expensive. We do it
But still, I mean,
professionally.
they're a big company, and it's a classic. And
I don't know.
and while they're at it, they could also try to fix all those bugs and stuff.
Mm. I mean, something we can talk about is like, what would a next good Secret of Mana game look like?
CrossCode.
No.
I mean, it would rather look like Grandia, most likely.
Grandier. But
Grandia
Grandier is very different in terms of setting, right? I mean, Grandier has this...
I mean, setting-wise, okay.
Okay, I didn't play Grandia that much yet, but from the impression I got so far, it looks... The kind of setting is very lighthearted from what I...
Yeah, I was just thinking about
witnessed.
gameplay style. And gameplay style,
Yeah.
Grandia is much closer than CrossCode to Secret of Mana.
Yeah, and that's possible, especially like the combat system.
Wasn't there this one game that was really close to Secret of Mana? I mean, not the online game, but there was some other game. I forgot the name again, sadly. that was trying to be really close to Cycle Zetsu.
Okay.
And I forgot it. But I mean, there is this MMO that I haven't played for a while, like Kingdom of Loot.
Okay.
That was kind of, I mean, that one was basically a Secret of Mana fan game.
Kingdom of Loot.
Kingdom of Loot, you know that. You played it on this one convention that you visited.
Oh, right, yes. Those developers which are partly from Saarland too, you know. These... Or what? You mean those, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, they had first project which had essentially graphics which looked like they were right off Zetsu 3. And now they made a different game with a more original style.
Yeah, right.
Wait, when
yes.
is E3 happening again? I want to know,
I don't know.
when Nintendo's gonna release the NX.
When Nintendo will finally release the NX. Oh boy. But yeah, I often wonder, like, I'm pretty sure we had this topic already on stream sometime, but still, it's kind of like what made Secret of Mana so interesting.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
and kind of
I
like,
think,
would it even still work today, or what would you have to change?
I think. I mean, it's really hard to say what worked about it. I mean, you can make the case that it really is large on nostalgia and like it being like a co-op game back then.
I think the co-op factor probably played a big role. But I mean, the thing that kind of stands out for me is always that I remember that Secret of Mana at least had a lot of boss fights. Even though a lot of them have been recycled, but there was like a lot of
that's true.
A lot of stuff happening. It had a very linear plot, but a lot of stuff happened. Like there were places that you visited, and then you visit them again. Suddenly there were some fights going on in this place, stuff like this. And I think these kind of scenarios kind of made the plot interesting. How much genders exist in CrossCode? Tumblr question improved. Ojios.
There's all the genders that you can think of. We don't want to presume genders of our NPCs, for example.
Yes. Exactly. But yeah. And but like honestly, this one thing that something that I think really hasn't been done for a long time are games like Terranigma and Soul Blazer, you know, the Quintet games.
You mean like scenario-wise, like the
mostly, yeah, scenario, but more precise, this whole concept that you are like reviving a world that is kind of has been disappeared. When I saw that
Bastion, kind of. No, well, not really, because
Bastion is a bit like it.
Yourself.
Well, somehow you revive it a bit, but it's pretty low on this aspect, at least so as far as I've played it, because it kind of like you revive some of the buildings and you get some new NPCs, but everything you revive is just this one bastion, nothing else. And I think Soul Blazer was rather interesting in that sense, because every level was always about you start somewhere which is entirely empty, there's nothing. Then you have a dungeon, you enter this dungeon and you have a bunch of enemies that you defeat, and whenever you defeat those enemies you get something unlocked in this village, so something appears again. First it's maybe something like a plant, then you get like an animal.
Beautiful!
and then you get a whole building suddenly, and then suddenly an NPC appears, and then like one thing after the other, you get more things that appear, and then it can interact with, and that's. I always remember that when I played it, that was like a really special reward. It felt really nice that suddenly like you made something appear that you can now interact with. Now you have. Like you can interact with it, it might have another lead, that might lead you to something. It felt nicely rewarding in an interesting way. And Terranigma did something similar in that it was more like on a large scale, that in the beginning you revived the whole world, like one part after the other. You had like this, first you revived like the whole continents, then you went to the actual world, you have started in the underworld or something. And then you revived like the plants, then the birds, then the animals, then humankind. And whenever this happened, it really felt like it had a really big impact on the world. Like you went outside and then suddenly it's strikingly different. And it felt really special that way.
Yes.
And I remember like how this kind of feeling like that you suddenly have people to talk to, and you could also stop talking to enemies. It was an interesting feeling. And it even goes beyond that when you actually started helping to develop the world, when you actually went around and talked to NPCs, and you had influence on how humankind actually developed. Like you could help cities to develop, and you could actually watch how the technology improved, the houses changed, and now suddenly they started having television and all kind of things, and that felt really nice because they kind of made it in a really detailed level. You actually went around and you helped somebody develop a phone. You know, you helped Edison or something like to create electricity.
Not just him. I mean, you developed. You helped a lot of inventors.
Yeah, like all kind of stuff like this, and that felt really nice. And I don't know a lot of games that actually do that. Like this kind of you help to construct a world setting. Like I know there's a lot of strategy games that have this kind of theme, but not this kind of where it's like in this really detailed personal way, where you actually have NPCs that you interact with. So I just wonder, are there other games that do that I just don't know about?
Wait a second. Other games, but you can. It's really hard. Maybe some West RPGs, but not really in this grand scale that you.
Yeah, I think West RPGs have kind of like this whole thing that you have influence on this world. So whatever you do, you might have impact on how things change, and I guess it goes in a similar direction. But so to say, Xenoblade had this too. Xenoblade had this to some extent, where you go around and you help construct this colony. That kind of felt a little bit similar. Like you actually help building something. And the same is true for Breath of Fire. They always have like the fairy village. I think that has been a staple in almost all of Breath of Fire games, where you kind of like do things to help construct the village of the fairies. And that kind of like felt similar. So you're doing something. You do something to construct something. So that's kind of like the goal of your actions. And but I think there are not too many games that actually have this really as a focus. Like the whole game evolves around rebuilding something.
Only as a side quest, maybe.
Yeah, on the side quest, yes, but kind of like where the whole game evolves around that. I don't think you see this too often. But actually, that's where I think there's a lot of potential. That's actually something I really would like to do in the future.
Yeah, true, but it's also something. It's also something that might be really hard. I mean, it's
hard to develop.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how you design it. I mean, you have to be careful on the implications. Like, especially, you should not try to make it dynamic. That is out of question, because there's like you have to kind of like script it in a pretty controlled manner, so you can kind of like the amount of combinations don't explode. Something I could imagine is that you kind of like have a game, and the first thing you always have to do is kind of like revive an area. That you have to do something, then this area changes kind of like its style. So for first it's kind of like this more like swamp-like, very little vegetation. Then you do something and suddenly plants appear again. Another game that does this is Okami. Now remember, it's actually also something I really liked about Okami. That I also really liked about Twilight Princess. Same idea. Twilight Princess has this whole thing. You go to an area where everything is kind of controlled by these shadow things, right? It was something like this.
Oh yeah, right.
And then you
And
go
had
in
to-
there, and you kind of like you go around in your wolf form. Then you defeat something, and then kind of like the shadow thing disappears, and suddenly you have the actual village freed or something. And I remember I also really liked this kind of feeling that you go
That's,
and you
yeah, that's
actually
true. Because
you free something. And Okami
do-
has this too. Okami is kind of like you go in an area and it's kind of like possessed with a lot of ghost things, and then you have to defeat. You actually have to make certain trees bloom again. And when you do that, suddenly nature spreads again. There's a very nice cutscene where everything blooms, and
I think it's like really, just really satisfying to see like your impact on the world.
yeah.
In that way. Yeah, it's true.
And it's kind of like that you see that, like, it's the inverse of destructing thing. That's interesting. You're actually constructing something. You see, like, you're doing something constructive to improve the world immediately. It's kind of refreshing because a lot of games really focus on destroying things and fighting things. And that's actually something where you construct something, if you think about it. I mean, the irony is, of course, you destroy things in order to construct something. So, in the end, you always have violence. But, yeah. And just thinking, like, yeah, no, the more I think about it, it's like there are games that do this partly, but there's never like that much big of a focus on it. Is Mario Sunshine like this? Why is it mentioned? Will you guys create some repeatable challenge mode of some sort so we can use our higher level files on something that doesn't just steamroll everything? Yeah, for that we actually plan to create a lot of challenges in the arena. And I hope those will kind of be satisfying, like hard enough so you can do something with your overpowered characters. That side here at least. It's like we hope to add a lot of post-game content, possibly after the full release of the story. Actually, it turned out not too bad, I think. I have to make Shizuka look more angry. But anyway, yeah, so it's not easy, of course, but I actually think you can kind of like design this whole idea of reviving things in this. You can integrate this pretty well in an open world scenario, I think. In open world genre type of game. Which is kind of like, it's just that you have to kind of structure your words in this kind of regard that you unlock things that change in the world, and those are relevant for other gameplay things. Like, you can design a lot of quests which involve this kind of, include this concept of reviving things. Just an example. You kind of go around. It's actually somebody still here. It's so quiet. Just wondering.
I'm still here, yeah?
Okay, just talking, I thought. Just imagine like you revive a village, and then you find like a fisherman who says that he wants to open his fisherman business again, but he can't because the fishes are missing. And then you like you kind of figure out that you have to fight a certain enemy to actually unlock the fish. And once you do that, the fisherman has to do again, and then the quest is kind of solved. That's like.
Ah, yeah, okay. So that's really kind of like. I mean, you had made the comparison to ActRaiser. I mean, have you played ActRaiser 1?
No. But I guess it might be similar to Soul Blazer because it's the same.
I mean,
developer, right?
ActRaiser 1, you had like your jump run action parts,
Mm.
and then you had like your planning parts where you are like flying around as this angel, and you had to help the population of that country. To basically fight against the demons and like seal some caves, and then you had to manually go into the action part again to beat certain levels. But it's
but it was all about reconstructing this village, or what was it?
Yeah, right. I mean, not just villages. It's had several villages.
Yeah, ActRaiser is another Quintet game. You know this, right?
Yeah, I know, right? It's really
they did all kind of games like this
because it also had like all those small stuff that you could do. And that's really
And I think Soul Blazer had this too to some extent. It was a lot about unlocking things so you could fulfill some quests and details like this. Yeah, I mean, obviously this would not be CrossCode. That would be for another game project.
Yeah,
but
of course.
It kind of like combined with the kind of style of gameplay you know from CrossCode, at least somewhat similar.
What game?
I could imagine that this would be a really fun game.
What game?
Just nobody has been listening. I've been talking now for several minutes.
I have been listening. Yeah, but
yeah. I was talking about how a lot of games in the past used from Quintet especially has this kind of concept of reconstructing something. That you reconstruct a world or a village or something like this. And that games like Terranigma and Soul Blazer were fully designed around this concept.
That's right.
And a lot of other games kind of like partly use this concept too. And I mentioned like Okami does it. Because you kind of like go around and you free certain areas of land from some dark power thing by just making trees bloom. That's kind of like this whole concept that you construct something, you do something to revive something. And the same for Twilight Princess, I thought. It also has this kind of thing where you go around, you kind of like freeze areas of the game from this kind of darker thing, whatever that was, I don't remember.
I think a friend of mine also has this sort of theme to his game.
Which? Who does?
I think it was Marty's The Island. It's this game he's working on.
Oh, okay.
I think that at least I know there's going to be a village you're gonna rebuild. Well, let's just build together.
Okay. That would be essentially like this. This kind of like Soul Blazer has always resolved around this theme. You have like a village and you go to a dungeon, you defeat stuff, and then things are unlocked in that village. So, and Terranigma was like especially interesting because they kind of like made one big word that you revived one step after the other, and they went beyond just reviving things, but you also helped to develop it afterwards, and that felt really interesting. And I don't think a lot of games put a lot of focus on that, and that's something I would really like to try to do. Because I think it would just feel really fresh these days again.
Like new characters that are being introduced by your efforts of rebuilding something. And they also
like
help you out.
New characters appear as you progress in the game because you kind of like revive them.
That's a new part of the game, and they also unlock new things you can do.
Yes, but the most interesting thing is not just that you go and unlock one thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. The most interesting stuff is when you actually kind of make sure that those things that revive start interacting with each other.
Yeah.
That you kind of like draw connections between those things.
So it feels natural, like a natural growth. You're being part
like
of.
it should not just feel like you're working down a checklist, because this might start feeling repetitive a bit. But if those things that like you should kind of try not to go too much into the quantity direction, but more in the quality direction. Like things that you revive actually have character, kind of like feel unique and have kind of like a meaning. Like each NPC that you unlock should kind of like have a bit of a personality, and then those NPCs kind of like start interacting with each other, and then you can kind of like build relationships between the things that you that you
Yeah, I think-
revive, so to say.
Yeah, I think Mario wants to do something exactly like that with the island.
Okay, that's interesting then.
Because you'd be meeting new characters who would then be part of the village you're trying to rebuild. That's how that's at least the gist of it.
Okay. I don't know, maybe there are actually more games that do this than I know of. Maybe I just got the wrong impression here. That's also possible.
I think your impression that it used to be a bigger thing happening in games back in the 90s, for example. It's actually, I think I kind of share that sentiment. Like I don't really see that trope being used in games outside of the SNES or.
In fact, when I actually saw,
especially
when I saw the trailer to Breath of the Wild, I was actually hoping that the game might do something like this because you had this kind of post-apocalyptic world.
Now you're gonna spoil it to me. It's not going to be a thing.
Yeah, well, whatever. Let's just say it didn't turn out to be exactly that way. So there was somewhat a disappointment, but I mean the game is still great in its own way. So that's of course not really a critique.
It's a cancelled CrossCode.
But
no, it's Erwin again.
Okay. Cancelled CrossCode the pre-order. Okay. Oh, look, Melody is here.
it's not the melody.
Oh, it's another melody. All right.
Yeah, and the other one is called it's called Melody, not Melody.
Oh,
Scrub.
right. Yeah, I'm scrub. Sorry. Anyway, Melody thinks that our Shizuka is cute. That's great.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks. That's actually Shizuka Leabouf telling you just go to sleep. That's kind of like the thing. Actually, I think I have to rotate like the. It's like very slightly angled. I get the impression. Yeah, that's better. That's better, I think. So yeah, to be honest, I'm already thinking a lot about future game projects, especially like this one about.
Because you know that CrossCode will flop, so we have to think of the
No,
future.
it's just that it's like to some extent every game dev has this problem. Like you get new ideas and you want to work on those new ideas. And I mean, it's not like I lost interest working on CrossCode. I still really want to finish this game. I want to make it like with a very nice conclusion. But you know, you get ideas, and it's always good to keep having ideas for future projects, because you can't work on one game forever.
There are people who can only come up with ideas, sadly.
Sad.
Yeah. Difficult part is actually creating the idea. Getting ideas isn't that difficult. The thing is that the truth is, whenever you have an idea, you will never be done. You should never set an idea in stone, because you have to develop and see if it actually works. You have to be flexible.
Yeah. Might work in your head, but
yeah, like
once it's prototyped.
There have been puzzle elements that worked in my head and didn't work in practice, and I had to change things. It's always how it is.
Make a game with a blind guy as the main person in the first person look.
Sounds awesome, yeah.
Sounds like an artsy game.
Sounds easy to develop, to be honest. I might even be able to port this to the Switch.
I remember the first games I ever worked on were so big in scope that they never got finished.
Featherboard!
Everyone worked on things that didn't really matter.
About what?
Huh?
A lot of features that didn't matter.
Worked on things that didn't matter, like worked on sprites before they even had an engine to work with.
Yeah, those kind of.
Yeah. That's kind of like the upside of being a programmer. Like, engine is really something that you should, one of the first things you should work on, I always think. Unless you already have like a specific engine in mind and you know that games like yours work on it. And it's of course something else. Otherwise the technical thing is, I think, might even be the most important practice.
Nice. By the way, can we now? I'm gonna skip the rest of the soundtrack now because we had. Okay, no, that's a good track. I'm gonna keep that.
Jeep. And it's another Felserbor track. Woohoo.
Yes.
Man, used to love that
I
soundtrack.
completely forgot that was also sound.
Chicken.
Jesus. That was a big chicken.
That was a big chicken.
Yeah.
I did work on a soundtrack before everyone did all these unnecessary things.
You did what?
Like, I mean, urban. Like when I worked on these projects that never really got somewhere.
Okay.
And this one project was supposed to be an MMO.
Oh, nice.
Oi.
And
Yeah.
I was the only composer too. And the guy I was working with did way more work than I did.
The other
he
guy
was-
that...
He was creating track after track after track while I was kind of slow on it. And
Okay.
that was actually the game where they made sprites, and it's like we didn't have an engine or anything, nothing playable. And we had no direction too. Like
Oh jeez.
maybe there's this one guy who had this grand idea how this game is going to be. Even had the name figured out, our studio name and everything.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't really know what this game was, how this game's gonna play, and I don't think I even cared that much.
Uh,
I was just happy I could work with some friends together,
mm.
and that's how you kind of start off when you work on something
mean-
like art or music. You kind of
That's
start
very
with
often
something-
how it is. You just work on something because it's fun to work on it. That's how I started too. I started the whole thing because it was fun for me, and there have been several projects that I just started because it sounds like fun, and then it just stopped. So
Yeah.
it's not like everything I started has been finished. To the contrary, almost nothing I started has been finished so far.
The thing is,
Like,
I wasn't as lucky as some others. Like the first years, I always ended up on a project that never went anywhere. Maybe it was. Maybe the reason was I've been hanging around the RPG Maker community, because
Yeah.
that's kind
Yeah.
of the wrong
kind of
community to
like-
be hanging out with if you want to finish something.
RPGs are notorious for being too much work, you know.
I mean, it's RPGs. They are kind of,
Yeah.
by definition, a lot
That's
of
what
work.
I said.
and we
It's
go,
about
yeah.
RPGs, not RPG Maker. So
Yeah, yeah,
RPGs,
yeah.
yeah, RPGs are kind of like tend to be a lot of work. And that's the issue. Very often. It's interesting because something I watched happening in the German RPG Maker community was that people just got really perfectionistic about a lot of things.
Mapping.
Mapping
about
especially.
technical
Oh,
aspects, I think.
What?
I think Germans are more perfectionist about technical aspects of their game. Like they're working on things like the battle system.
That's such a cliche. They want to have the well-working
German
cast.
engineering.
German engineering.
German is engineering always. I think it's not just technical stuff. It's a lot of also
Yeah,
about
it's-
graphical stuff, and especially like the notorious mapping the
Yeah.
screenshot threads, you know? It's
The
kind of like a
screenshot
thing that still exists today, and people are doing great screenshots, then posting that in a forum, and people kind of like judging the screenshots
Yeah.
in a very detailed manner, and it's kind of like it's going to an extent where it really defeats the points, because the irony is, if you now compare kind of like those screenshots with some of commercial games from the past, like Super Nintendo games, you actually realize that those games didn't look all that great actually. It's like
Yeah, the mapping
nobody
wasn't that
actually
good.
noticed. A lot of those maps were really, really simple and kind of monotonous, and kind of like even had like strange small glitches here and there, and nobody really cared. The funny thing is that
What the fuck?
jeez. I actually kind of enjoyed the nice atmosphere.
Yeah, why did you skip?
We had Star Ocean for
That's-
like...
That's what you get for skipping! And that's what you get!
What is this? What happened? Harold, you planned something horrible. Did you plan something
It was a
terrible?
perfect
Was it
rap.
fine?
It's like you just start like a very long soundtrack, just added all kind of nonsense songs after that, in case you dare to skip it.
That was a punishment.
Yes. Oh man.
Well, what were we talking about again?
Think about something perfectionism.
Mapping in old games.
Yeah,
and
mapping.
stuff.
Yeah, the irony is that you don't notice this as a player. That's kind of like, that's something that
Yeah,
I myself kind of like understood and learned over time, that I think the most important thing is always kind of like try to optimize thing that you honestly believe player will notice. And it's not that easy, because as a developer you very
Yeah,
often have a different perspective.
I
than a
mean,
player.
I don't know, I noticed it a lot when I played The Way, like the one that Lun
Yeah.
Kal something made.
Mm.
That game had like really simple RPG Maker mapping.
Yeah.
At least for the maps that were like normal maps and not like 3D
Mhm.
backgrounds. And at some point I really said to myself, try to pay attention to the maps right now. And then I noticed, man, this map is really, really simple, but you never noticed it. The entire time you walked to this map, you never noticed how simple the map was.
I think the thing about graphics is something that you notice in the beginning. Those are the first impression.
Yeah.
The first impression, unfortunately, is important for a lot of things. But the thing
Yeah,
is, this
of
kind of
course.
like fades away. And there's a lot of games with pretty bad graphics out there that don't really look awesome. I mean, Undertale, for instance, is an example. But if you actually get in there, you kind of like, it fades away. Once you get used to it, you kind of get used to the visuals, and then it kind of like fades away, and suddenly what is left over is more like the gameplay. And yeah, kind of like variance in graphics is still important, because you actually notice change, and you notice that in a positive way, I think. Even if the kind of the level of the graphics isn't that great, but if you notice kind of like a change in the variance of graphics, that's something you still appreciate. But it's not like it's kind of like you kind of like perceive, you move to the level of the graphics and you just perceive them as what they are, and they kind of like stop being kind of annoyed by them pretty soon. So you just forgot about the graphics essentially.
I think the graphics still matter because they set the tone really well, actually, for Undertale. Like, they weren't really, they were still kind of helpful in immersing yourself in the game. Like, there were actually some good-looking places, like, what's this called?
Yeah, there were some good-looking places, like the entrance of this one core thing building.
And
that
also
looked
the
really nice.
usage of color also mattered. It did feel like a place you'd expect this cave to be, but
yeah, it was more on an artistic level, really, I guess. So
one thing about RPG Maker is, are there any German RPG Maker games that are popular outside of Germany?
I don't think so. Maybe
Felserbor,
except for
kind of.
No. Yeah, a little bit. But
The
Unterwegs
one
in
from
Düsseldorf
Core
was
Angel,
never
maybe.
really.
I mean, also games that were translated.
Yeah, Core Angels games, but he usually
Yeah.
made them English from the get-go, I think.
Mm.
Also, what was the name again?
Not a lot of them were
This one-
translated, I think. Yeah.
This one adventure game, but that one was
Tales
also
Adventure.
no, not
No.
that one.
I mean,
The
Sunset
one,
over Imdar.
Sunset over Imdar. That was
But
also
that one was
German.
not from Germany, was it? It was from.
I think it was from Germany, but I'm not sure.
I think
actually.
it wasn't.
Okay, it wasn't. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, the thing is, a lot of German RPG makers never got translated. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
And when I'm thinking about RPG Maker games that are popular from different countries, I mean, when France had Off, Japan had Yumeniki.
Yeah, but Humaniki came much later. It wasn't like the
Was it?
Humaniki was not 2000. It was like wasn't it XP or something?
I'm not
I
sure.
think it was 2000.
It was 2000.
Really? Humaniki was
Yeah.
2000. Okay, I'm not.
I think so.
Yeah, okay,
Does
of
it, does
course.
it matter which RPG Maker it was based on?
No,
I'm
but
talking about-
I thought about like I thought we were talking about like old generations and stuff. But yeah,
Well,
it's true.
I guess
mean,
there are really not a lot of international known RPG Maker games, but I think to some extent it's just language barrier.
the thing is, yeah, I mean, sure.
If you don't translate your game, you can't expect it to be successful in other countries.
Also, the French.
I mean, Humaniki
games
is kind of
also-
like that's kind of like an exception in that sense because I'm not sure if did they translate it or did somebody else translate it.
I'm not sure. It might have. I mean, the thing is, I mean, how many very popular American RPG games did you have? Like from the classics, you of course had like The Way, you had Kindred Saga, and Blood Lion, which were all demos except for The Way.
Hmm.
And of course, you had like the ones that went commercial and became successful, like To the Moon. But how many other RPG Maker games do you have that are really successful? I mean, fun fact, I think I mentioned it already, but
Lisa.
Lisa, yeah, right.
It's another successful one.
I think a very great part, a really large part of somewhat profitable RPG Maker games are actually hentai games.
Yeah.
It's true. It really is true. I mean,
I
you have
could
a lot
imagine
of
that, yeah.
you have a lot of hentai artists who want to make
The
who
statement
have
couldn't
like
come from anyone less than you, Hannah.
I know
course.
I am kind of I'm knowledgeable in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The thing is, I mean, it makes sense. You have like those artists. They can draw good stuff. I mean, you have tons of those in Japan, like that make money by drawing porn doujinshi and stuff. But some are like, yeah, I don't just want to draw like comics or small or single pictures. I want to put them in a game, and for that they obviously use a tool that is rather simple and still fits very well to what they want. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes they make really good games. I mean, I have played some really good games with hentai content,
Mm.
and some are just like your run-of-the-mill RPG Maker make it in a few weeks game, where they just put some writing in there to like put the plot together and then basically have scenes by putting the images in there,
Yeah.
and that's it. And
Actually, there's a question here that we could maybe mention.
oh,
Okay,
Nico, man.
actually, so first of all,
Why are
let's
you-
save. What?
I don't know what's wrong, Necroman. Are you shocked by my
Hello.
knowledge
Because you talk about
of
hentai stuff,
of the by my knowledge of the of the RPG Maker gaming market?
Yes. I already saved Hannah. There's somebody asked, do you think you will be affected of the broadcast law and have to buy a TV broadcast license? Ugh. I just hope that they don't do that. there was this one video where apparently one streamer has been notified by some office that some what is I don't know. Somebody notified them that they need to get a broadcasting license for having a Twitch channel. I just hope that is some kind of misunderstanding, because if every German Twitch streamer now needs a license, that I'm not sure we could do that. I hope not. I don't think we do that. But seriously, I mean, we do it once a week. We can't call this a broadcast, right? I understood there are some limitations on how often you do that, depending on that you do it or not. Anyway, next question. It may be a stupid question. There are no stupid questions. There are
Not
only.
here.
There are only.
Good question.
Do it again so we can hear.
That's a good question.
Necroman,
So-
I'm not gonna give you examples, but you should find them pretty easily. Honestly.
Okay.
Like,
Anyway,
seriously.
as someone who has knowledge about programming but making games, what kind of game would you advise me to do? Just for the sake of practice. I think the most important thing in the end is that you work on a game that you like to create. At least that's what I think. Like working on a genre that you like to play yourself. Because I honestly believe if you want to create something that's good, you kind of like need you need to know what is important about it, and so you need to work on something that you personally like to play. I think that's kind of like the essence of it. Then you have to think about how to make it simple. Like in the end, it's always about, even though that sounds somewhat hypercritical coming from us, but it's always good to start with something simple. But the thing is, if you just port by mini games, I don't think there's a lot of meaning in working on mini games. Now the downside is, if you want to create an RPG, creating an engine for that yourself is a lot of work. So that will take some time. But maybe taking an existing engine and practicing with that, doing something small, something simple based on that engine might be a start. How to get used to game dev a bit. And that's something I always say is like when you like RPGs, you have to think yourself, for instance, does it have to be like a Final Fantasy style of game? Maybe something that has a very short playtime, like a very simple story, something more small scaled. But still feels like an RPG. For instance. You could use RPG Maker, you could also use Game Maker.
Why not?
RPG Maker, yeah, it's more limiting. If you really want to maybe go more creative with mechanics, I guess the Game Maker might be a better idea. Maybe Unity, but that's again getting more complex then. I mean, it's more like designed around 3D games. Isn't that?
Lots of people use Unity.
Yeah, I know a lot of people use Unity, but
There's a lot of material to dive into if you want to learn how to make games on it.
okay, I guess so.
But there's also Game Maker Studio, which is really good for platformers especially.
Yeah. I think Unity might be better for 3D games if you want to really have a 3D, 3 dimensions and stuff like this.
Yeah, if you want to make 2D games, maybe Game Maker Studio might be better. You can Undertale was made with Game Maker Studio, I think.
Yeah, it is Game
Should they-
Maker. Hyperlight Drifter was made with Game Maker.
Yeah, right.
So that's a pretty impressive
Hyperlight
example, I think.
Drifter, what was Defenders of... What is it called again? Defenders of Aegis?
Aegis Defenders.
Aegis Defenders, right. That was made with Unity, right?
I
Or
think
Game
so, yeah.
Maker.
I think
Not
it's
sure.
Unity. But not perfectly sure.
But I mean, if you want to make an RPG and a rather classic one of that, like not necessarily with action combat systems and an RPG Maker, I think there are not many good reasons to not use it.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you really like 2D games and if you want to experiment with mechanics, if that's something you would like to do, then I think Game Maker is a good choice. I think RPG Maker I would recommend mostly for people who just want to create a nice story. Who don't care so much about creating fancy mechanics and something new, but more about just creating a nice game with character story focused, something like this. For those, I think RPG Maker is the best choice. But if you want to experiment with mechanics, I think Game Maker might be better. Though I actually never use Game Maker, so I cannot talk about experience there. Alright, I have been polishing this Shizuka
Felix,
for such a long time.
Personally, I prefer
Unity.
Unity is a step further, I would still say. I think Game Maker is easier to handle than Unity, from what I understood. But I think Unity overall is more powerful. I guess you can create more interesting, especially you can use 3D, and sometimes that's really useful. So,
But to make 2D games though, Game Maker Studio is probably much better. It's much easier to pick
probably
up.
much easier to use in the end, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Unity has kind of like new interfaces that are optimized for 2D games, but I think it's kind of like rooted in to be a 3D engine, so that's why there will always be kind of like things that might feel strange when you create 2D games with it.
I think by the way, when the Shizuka thing is finished, it should definitely be added to the CrossCode sticker pack on Telegram.
Yeah.
So I have no idea who manages that, but I mean.
Yeah.
It's
okay, I think we could finish this now. So just what I need is kind of like this font that they're using. It's time to sleep. Does somebody know this font here? Otherwise, I'm just gonna Google this Kaga posting font, please. What's the font?
Does it have to be exactly the same font?
It would be nice if we have the same. Choose your path. Defend Hushido. Fight with Nor. Go to sleep already. Oh man, I like this meme.
Go to bed.
Go to sleep. Okay, I'm just gonna go through the fonts and see if I find this. Comic Sans, yeah. I'm just gonna go through the fonts and see if I find anything that looks...
Or just draw it like that.
Ah, this takes forever. Drawing text is such a pain. I hate to do that.
Ah, the applause.
Oh yeah, it was one of those. Well, at least it didn't have any annoying people in the. Oh no.
Oh, this one is pretty good actually. Never gets boring with Intero being around. Always the best music.
Yes.
That one looks pretty good. Wow. There you go. Just go to sleep. Should I add speed lines? Yes or yes? Yes.
I think it looks alright without the speed line.
No. It's a rule.
It is fitting music though.
Jesus Christ, Taro, did you just remix this or something?
No, I found it on the internet.
What is this?
Go to bed quest.
This is Black Lion on the top.
What is this?
There's a black line on the top. It looks like it.
A black what? Oh! These are just the rendering. Oh gosh.
What is this?
It's the highlight of the stream, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, it was a weird stream, to be honest. So, we are too sleepy. I was too sleepy, and now we have weird music and... Wait, what's this? Normal transistor music.
Yeah, the quest for bed is over, I guess.
Wow, it was way shorter than I thought it would be.
Normal music, you say?
Oh, God.
Oh no, oh no, oh no!
Read what you want to read. Believe what you want to believe. But go to...
Oh, wow!
Can you make this louder? This is incredible. Oh gosh! Oh man, I love the internet. Incredible. Just go to sleep.
Ah, that's a good track for this.
Should be able to rotate, but I can't. Jeez. That's Xenoblade X, isn't it?
No, that's actually a Speaking of Mana.
Oh! Interesting.
Oh wait, it might be... let me just check. I think it's...
It's nothing.
Oh no, it's something completely different. It's
Not to something completely different.
yeah, it's not from gaming. It's from like... No, Taro, please don't skip this.
It's not.
Oh! This is nice.
This is nice. We need some nice music.
Please. That is Xenoblade, or at least it's like
Sounds a
Savano.
bit like it.
It's like
Sounds
Savano. It's definitely Savano.
No, it's Saku's Your Lost Memory.
That's oh. So it's not Savano. Okay. Gee. Just go to sleep.
The next one I queued is
Shizuka Leabouf tells you what to do. So. Sorry, what?
the next one I queued is really good.
Okay. We gotta wait a bit for that.
I like them about the speed lines.
Oh, where's the scar? Good thinking.
Oh yeah, it's like one of
Thank you.
those
One of the things, kind of like the freckles for Emily.
Just draw a scar from Fullmetal Alchemist next to her.
It would take like another hour then.
I mean, it's still 17 minutes until midnight. We got time.
I know. Not long enough.
Looks like a mouth now.
Yeah, I know. People
Kind
always
of.
think that's a mouth. Gee, it's kind of like the problem with that. You know, I'm just gonna make something. Make it really subtle. So maybe people then realize it's not a mouth.
It's hard not to make it look like a mouth.
People will always think it's a freaking mouth, goddammit.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna make a mouse below it, so... Actually, that actually looks good, because now it even looks more like Shia LaBeouf. So now people will not think it's a freaking mouse, because I added something that is the actual mouth.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
Mouth on the bottom.
Yeah. Just go to sleep! See, you could, Felix, add a mouse. Okay, I did it.
Yeah. It's a... Oh no, Felix, it's a Hitler beard.
It's not! But then it would be below the mouth, so that doesn't work. So.
Okay. Okay.
Because, up there would be the mouth, and if that's not...
Oh no. Wait, is that Ric Flair? Or who is it? Who is that wrestler?
Where do you find all these songs, Taro? What the heck?
That's Red Zone, I think.
So what?
What's it called? Red Zone?
Red Zone.
But seriously, isn't that Ric Flair? Or what's his name?
It's, you mean the guy is saying that or what?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
it might be Ric Flair. I vaguely remember him. Yeah, I think it is him. Wait a second. Okay, I need a better...
So you clearly had to make manlier behind her. What? She's not reversed. God damn it!
Oh, isn't that
Jesus Christ? Yeah, it's so. The mouth.
Might be. I think it is. I think it really is Ric Flair because he has the same blonde.
He just keeps adding things.
Oh god damn it, Tyrone. What's going on?
Past your bed.
Okay, it is Ric Flair. Search Ric Flair was at bad. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I see.
Alright guys, I think this concludes our stream. We have not even reached midnight yet, or is there anything else that we could do?
No.
Jeez.
Oh god.
What? I bet! What the heck? What is this? What is this? This is perfect. The stream couldn't get any better now. So let's just end it now that we reached the high point. So, yes. Thanks everybody for watching for our weekly game dev stream.
Yes.
And let's hope that next week will be again a bit more productive because writing dialogues on stream does not work. Something I will remember.
Because
high energy.
I think we were all a bit tired today.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, anyway, it was still fun. So thanks everybody for watching, and hope to see you again soon.
Yes.
And
thank you and goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Who plays the freaking sound? Who plays it? Somebody plays it.
Oh, you mean? Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait. I have it.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
No.
Damn it. It's the wrong one.
Yeah, but it's good. It's a good one. So, bye bye.